post office.
Okay.
The bank,
The bank?
doctor's office.
Well, that's the Holton.
Yeah.
That's what?
That's a Holton branch,
Yeah.
Holton Hospital.
Gerard National Bank.
Is it Gerard up there?
There's a NEKES clinic up there.
No, or Holton.
It is Holton?
Yeah.
I thought it was a NEKES originally.
I remember it was originally, but it's been like.
Kathleen?
Years.
Kathleen? Do you live anywhere near E Road and 158?
No.
You don't happen to know the people that live on the corner there, do you?
No.
Offhand, I didn't know.
Yeah.
They have three, I think 3 little boys. I was hauling semi-loads of hay out there.
Okay.
I turned at that corner.
158, yeah. Yeah, I've only driven on 158 west
That's
of
the
Cater
pavement.
Road, and then I've done that road gets really bad after you hit. I mean, I haven't driven it in like a year or so, but once you get past K, like you don't even want to drive on. You want to drive sort of in the middle because there's just so many bumps. So I don't even know if that's really a great intersection. I mean, it's like it stops, doesn't it? Once you get to E, no, it keeps on going.
E Edward.
Yeah, I know where E is.
Yeah, that's what I was
158
talking
E.
about.
Yeah, no, I haven't been over there in a long time. Yeah.
Just they have some boys there that every time I ran the corner, they'd come running out of the house
Oh.
and come to the fence and start doing the
Yeah.
And I just don't know who they are.
Oh. Oh, I gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah, they seem like good kids.
You have no idea. Yeah, 158 is terrible. Yeah. I haven't been on there in a while.
You did start reviewing this
I
past
don't
year
think we've ever
to
done
a
anything
point,
with
and
them.
it's
No,
much
we
better.
haven't.
But
Yeah.
then
My
it
recall.
really
And
brings
then-
home the rest of it.
It's pretty bad.
The only really out of county thing we did was
It's like frog.
that I remember Rossville High
Yeah.
School after prom, we had Jackson County students attending that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been after prom.
Yeah.
There are, as close as Wetmore is to the
And Joe Drive.
line, there are Jackson County individuals that do,
We're back in session.
Okay.
there are Jackson County individuals that do use facilities up there at Wetmore, I know.
But I don't think that,
So,
that
I don't know
deal,
if
I
that's
don't think
something we
we've
can
ever
do or
done.
not.
There's some official minutes. Alright, while we're waiting on Kurt to get here, we're gonna back visit a little bit about, our zoning, board member. We had talked about giving him the opportunity to come up here and visit. Doesn't appear that he wants to do that. He doesn't feel like he's done anything wrong. So, I'm back to, there's just some very questionable things that have been brought to light, and, I'm really disappointed. Again, I think he's lost the trust of the community, and someone who's not remorseful for doing that concerns me. So, if we're going to go back to removing him, I'd entertain a motion. If you guys want to, if there's additional conversation, I'd be glad to listen.
I made my viewpoints known this morning.
You did. Entertain a motion to officially remove Steve Willett from the zoning and planning board immediately,
And the appeals board,
and the appeals board both. Yes.
so moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. And I think that you have in this cabinet a folder
City Hall coming back. Hello. Hello. Hey, yeah. Oh, good, thanks. How you doing? Oh, no. Hey, yeah, I called earlier. The Kansas Department of Commerce is coming to the courthouse on Thursday at 12 p.m. for a round luncheon, talking about grants and opportunities to grow communities. We wanted to reach out, we're reaching out to the mayors and of course, Fulton is a third class city of city management around. We want to reach out to you and put to everyone from the council if you like, as long as there's not a quorum, I guess. Okay, okay. Yeah, maybe, sure, that'd be great, but we wanted you to be aware of it. Okay? Thank you, take care, good feeling with you. Bye-bye.
You on bills?
What's that?
You on bills?
I thought we
Or
already.
you on, oh, I didn't know if you were on bills.
No, no, am I on bills? No, I'm looking through these applicants.
Oh, gotcha. I'm gonna run out to my mic real quick. We got something we're not trying to get, I want to bring up from the Northeast Kansas Environmental Board meeting.
Hey, Kurt.
Thank you.
You bet. How old is she?
She is 3. So,
I thought they were under 6.
Yeah. And, her mother, might just done Christmas shopping done for her. She might borrow them for 16 years and then she can have them.
Earrings?
Yeah.
Does she have her ears pierced yet?
No, but her sister does.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, she doesn't even know, so that's even better.
This was the this was the Kiwanis. We raised money for cut and hole-in-ones. We put a registration in a jar, and I provided a couple prizes, and his daughter was one of the winners. I didn't even know it until you contacted me because I think Mindy
Yeah, she called and I was like, well,
had them.
and I was like, well, they're already gone at that point. I was like, well, it might be just as easy for me to pick it up.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yep,
Good-looking kids.
appreciate it.
Boy on the way.
It was. We, our DNA tested it was a boy, and then we went to our first sonogram and it was inconclusive, and then they had to do another one to do some more measurements on our heart, and then they found out, said, no, this is actually a girl.
Oh.
Said, whatever doctor said, this is only the second time this has ever happened.
But the baby's healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Girls basketball team here before.
Oh yeah, got 3 of them already.
Mm-hmm.
Really the main thing is, building is done pretty well. I mean, we just got clean. I gotta get in there and, just get all the trash picked up and everything, and then we can have a lady come in and do a deep cleaning on it because just not got time to get in there and get it deep clean. Got grass seed popping up for now until tonight, and might ruin it.
All that water was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I had 5 sprinklers going at once, just because it was such a large area that a lot, every hose I think that we owned on that was, being used at some point.
We used to have a pump run down the lake, right?
That'd have been smart thing to do if we did. I
Yeah,
was
look on
getting
water.
really close to calling Scott to see if I could, get someone out there, with the water truck to just hose it down on there.
I'm afraid it might have moved that.
Yeah. We took back our power rake, the Harley rake that we rented.
Oh, yeah, how'd that
today.
work out?
Very, very nice.
Where'd you rent that from?
Murphy's.
Off, Lower Silver Lake?
Yeah, Lower Silver Lake Road. He was trying pretty hard to, he said, we've got a rent-to-own thing that you can even try. And I was like, I could see this being very, very.
Really does a good job on the gravel.
The gravel
roads and
the
choose
gravel
grass
roads.
up.
I mean, like that one trail that's gravel that goes through there. I mean, it needed some more back, and we ran that thing through that. All the weeds and everything that were there just tears it all up and brings. And our pads needed some work, and I just obviously don't have the money to bring in load after load of gravel. And I took that thing because they're crowned. And then right down in the middle of it, and then just keep raking that back, and all that, and it just leveled it out and brought a lot of that gravel back down to the lower side. To when there was like that, I could kind of level them out. That thing could pay for it. I mean, I could see even if like Road and Bridge we could split it between departments or something if they would see like that being a useful tool for them. I don't know if it would be or not.
Yeah,
I know it is for me, but.
How deep did it go?
Depends on how you set it.
Right, but I mean, you could get good effectiveness
Yeah.
at 2 inches.
Absolutely.
My thought is along the edge of the road, where the grass is.
And then, like you can tilt it.
So it'll kick it
Yeah,
back into the road.
so it'll kick it back into the road. It was.
How long would it take to go down a mile and up a mile?
Wow. It's not a fast process.
Yeah.
It's
That's what I thought.
yeah. consistent base of, because it brings up the compaction and, yeah, it really made, unfortunately, we were pretty busy when we had it, so I wasn't able to get over all of my pads, so, because there was a lot of campers out there, so I could see it in, in the future, and it worked very well on our, beaches too, because it's kind of a hard compacted sand that we have out there, and by running that over it, it just, pulverizes and brings it back up and fluffs it up, and it was very well used, and they were very good with us. We had a hydraulic hose brake, and I, didn't want to lose a full day because I wanted to go in town and get one broke, but they're like, nope, you can't do it, gotta come down here, and they gave me a whole nother day for that.
Oh, there you go.
And so I'm like, well, that was great.
Yeah.
And very good to deal with. Other than that, just got a few more bills to submit for the building. Scott, they got me everything I needed for the in-kind donations that you guys have essentially made by allowing the county to work on the project. So that'll cover our portion of the $20,000. Between what the county's done, what Richard Iverson has done as being our architect of the building and donating all his time for that, and what the contractors have done, we went well over, our required $20-some thousand that we had as our portion of the $160,000 matching grant. So turned out really well. I mean, the only thing we really have left is we're searching for tables and chairs, and I think we got tables and chairs found at Sam's Club.
Cool. I think those black plastic or white
White
plastic,
plastic, yeah,
fold
white
up ones,
plastic.
those are nice.
Yeah, they're cool.
I can get you some info. Are you gonna be putting them up anywhere as far as on the rack?
Yeah, I mean,
I can get some information on the rack that we got down there at the hall, church hall,
yeah.
and it works out nice.
Yeah. Will I have to measure those? I mean, do you guys have just the metal ones, or are they the plastic?
No, we got the one from Sam, the black plastic. We got the black plastic, is what we got, so, yeah.
Black, I mean, the only advantage to it is if you have kids in there and they stain it, or because they can get stained. And
Oh, yeah, the white can get stained real easy.
Huh?
The white can get stained real easy.
It's all it is.
I will get you, I'll get you information on those chair racks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it will be ready to rent in November?
I've had probably 15 phone calls over the different people wanting to. I mean, if we can get it, I guess we need to get it. I've got to get in contact with Deb, and because she's done some legwork, and I've got to get because we got the check from Prairie Band on Thursday of last week.
Okay.
So once we get that in, or how they, I assume they've got to enter cash into our account. I don't know how that works. I need to talk with her as far as whether they're going to purchase the tables and chairs, or they're going to transfer the money to me so I can do it. I don't care. Doesn't matter either way. But tables, chairs, and fridge. Oh, and an ice maker. That's one thing I've been trying to do more research on, is the ice maker. But that's kind of my last thing. Just don't have to have an ice maker to get things done.
Dave, do you want to share about the city's grant with Kurt and potential?
Oh, yeah. It's on KNZA News. The city of Colton got a $2 million grant from working through the grant writer that we use, a company called GAS, and they're going to use it to connect sidewalks from the park. So the news story says, okay, it would be Countryside Park down here south of Sarfield, going up and over and then across.
So we'll go over the highway?
Well, I'm not over ground level. There's been a question about putting a ramp or so, but I think that's not capable financially doing. That's expensive. And headed towards the lake is a bike walking type of trail.
Like concrete trail?
I think so, yeah. But they got $2 million.
I'm a little disappointed because, you know, we talked to them originally about, you know,
Working
let's get
together?
together and do this together so that, you know, you guys can go from there and we can go from here, we can meet in the middle so that we're not sitting here like this.
A lot of communication between the city. and-
Yeah.
Well, I didn't, I wonder though, didn't Brett Wagner say if you guys go for both of it, you might not get it or so? Did he say there's
No, I don't
maybe a
believe so.
conflict that we should do it?
Because it was gonna be a two-part thing to where the county would have out here, the city would go from here to here,
Yeah.
and we'd meet at the line.
The
But now-
destination was, so part of it was there has to be a destination. What's
Yes.
the destination was Crater Lake.
Yeah, but where at it, like, that's what I wanna know, is
Yeah,
how are you going to?
I
try
thought
to
it was
go all-
gonna be right there at the edge of the cemetery in 16 Highway.
Okay, but once you've got there, I mean, we don't have any pavement from there, I mean,
Right, so we were gonna apply for a grant to extend it on out, same grant that they're
Yeah.
applying for, only from the county, and then bring the two together.
Now, it
so,
should,
but where would, I mean, where do you guys foresee, how far would it go into the lake?
Up to you.
that's where we were gonna get with you, but we didn't know that they were proceeding with it because the last time I knew this was kinda like, yeah, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like Google Maps.
Here, I'm gonna give you the news story as well. I heard.
Here's these chairs too, Kurt, if that's what you're looking at, like this.
Yeah, I think we've got the actual, the 400-pound capacity.
I know they're sturdy.
Yeah, because they have a 250-pound and then a 400-pound. But, yeah,
Yeah,
and that's,
either
they're the
way.
same ones, I mean,
Yeah.
I know they're the same ones.
Yeah.
That's where they found the best price on them, and
So I will,
Here we go.
like I said, I will get you the Atchison, Holton, and Rutherford.
Yeah, it's on MSC News, you can pull it up. But, my understanding is Holt receives $2 million for the Highway 75 pedestrian, non-motorized vehicle bicycle safety project.
So is it, okay, then that's not the same project. That's a sidewalk running, sounds like up and down 75.
Yeah, that doesn't say from the park.
I don't know, that's what they were wanting to do.
Well, that's what they were wanting to do, but this is,
well, and then, don't get me wrong, that needs to be done too.
this needs to be done too, so that they can hook the one from the park to there.
To go from there to there.
Yeah,
You're talking about
for a
going
safety
from-
factor along 75, this has been needed to be done for a long,
So,
long.
Where this is Walmart.
right, so,
Well,
Is it back over here?
it doesn't say,
Yeah.
okay, Highway 75 pedestrian,
So-
non-motorized vehicle.
Is the park back here?
It doesn't say exactly where,
So
it could
these
be
are
over by
where all the
Walmart.
houses are
Yep.
now, yeah. So, yeah, I guess they would
Well,
have it
it's along
coming along
75.
here and then
Well, that is
crossing over
Yeah,
here.
but that's what I'm saying, it's along
Going
75.
all the way
Yeah,
through.
going all the way
You know, there's been.
through, and then you'd have to do,
I think what we had originally talked
Yeah,
about
maybe
was
we'll
going
go
up
on both
on
sides.
P Road along this
Like I said,
right
they're
of
gonna
way,
fix a lot of ditches.
crossing here and making the connection. Plenty of right of way.
Two, bring them up to level and
yeah.
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
sidewalk.
And that
On
would
the
work,
east side would be a lot easier.
but depending on, you know,
It's
how
flatter.
much we would have, but it
Not
would be.
necessarily, look, I mean,
So,
you've got the big
we
ditch
have,
there in front of the sheriff's
look,
office.
just one
You got
here.
the big
We
ditch
have
right
this
here in front
interlude.
of,
It starts here, you can see it.
Yeah.
It goes
Country
through
Road.
here.
and then
But
you
you've
got
got
no
It comes
ditch
down, and it
Yeah.
crosses.
down there along front of the Ellis
Through
Road.
here.
No, it's flat in there.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it
It's
could
just
be in
slope
there.
track, yeah.
It could be in there.
That's
right.
what I want.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
It's 2 miles.
6 1/2 does the other, we'll see where they put it, but I,
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's, because.
So we're not really sure
It
where
says
it's-
it's,
no.
Okay. Well, at least they got something nice.
it says it is, right now, that it's handicap accessible. And it is
not.
close to handicap accessible. I don't know how they got away with leaving that trail is that, because it's just fly ash. Is all it is. The whole trail. So, but,
Well, so,
I mean,
anyway,
connecting into that trail, or if that, I mean,
somehow.
if we get our side of it,
You know, I'm gonna have to call city to find out for sure. It could be. But
Well,
then again,
that's needed, so.
yeah,
Anyways, back to, that deal, it was 11.5 for that, I liked it enough to at least ask about the price when I took it back this morning.
Oh, yeah,
It's how much?
reclaimer.
11.5 for that reclaimer.
Okay.
I said, and I was figuring it out, and I was like, well, that's about, how many, I didn't quite get it done, how many loads of gravel it was, that if it saved you that many.
I mean, did he put on?
Well, I'm just
Another
saying, I think you can put about 15 ton on,
On 10-wheeler?
on a 10-wheel paint.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
That about.
How many chairs you getting?
That's a question for Deb, she had all that figured out, and the grant for the.
Here's the racks that we want,
Yep.
and it's specifically for those chairs. Hold 72 of them.
Well, I think we only need 2 of them.
Yeah.
I think it was around 120 shares,
Yeah.
if I would guess.
So, yeah, I'll
Basically-
email that link to you.
38 loads of gravel on 10-wheeler,
Okay,
it's $19 a ton.
yeah,
It's a little more now, it's like 90.
I think that the machine will pay for itself.
You're not factoring in two, then it's also gonna cost you to haul it out. I
Right.
mean, so you can have.
But I'm just saying, if it involves me not having to purchase as much gravel,
Oh, yeah.
I think the tool itself pays for it.
And you have the money to buy it.
Yeah. But I'm waiting probably till next year.
So you can get a used one next year, tell them you know it, you know you used one, there was a used one here, so,
Yeah.
you know.
I would like a little, so a little wider one. I got a 72-inch one, so it would fit on my trails. But I found when I went out to my gravel pads and the actual roadways, it ended up taking me more time because it's not a very wide path. Because my skid steer, the platform from edge to edge is 78 inches.
You're not even taking out your wheel track.
Right.
So
Well,
you can
well,
go on the board.
Yeah, you can go to 84 and then
Can you fit an 84 down your pass?
Now that you, that's something that you really, as long as you keep on top of it getting sprayed, you don't really have to. The whole reason that I used it on that was because it'd been so long since it had touched the weeds and kind of run up through them. And if we stay on it spraying, I don't think you have to get that on.
Okay.
But, no, I can see that as being very
Good
useful
springtime tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Attachment, yeah. It's called a power rake. Harley rake. I mean, there's a couple of names, but I wish I'd taken some before and after pictures.
I just sent it to you, but.
Okay, thank you.
What is your idea for maybe the concrete, boxes?
Yeah, I've actually partnered with,
Just asking, I just thought about it.
yep, I'm hoping to, like I said, I just wanted to get this dang, building done, and then that's what that's kind of leaving.
you got it done before it got cold.
Right. Where's the, okay, yeah, here's the actual, wish I would take the before and after. So this is the.
Yeah.
So all this was just compacted clay pretty well, that they dug up to put the loops in for the.
Would work better going backwards.
If you're wanting to pull material, it does, but if you're just wanting to level it and pound it down, going forward, it's just fine. It digs a little bit more. But all that was, it made a pretty good planting surface bed, and it worked just as well in soil as it did in gravel and the sand too. All the weeds and everything in the sand, I mean, it just.
When did you do this?
This week, last week.
I just wondering, because I was out there not that long ago, and I looked at the same stuff.
Oh, well, we've got a land leveler that works to kind of but it's hard to get rid of the weeds that grow up through it. Did you email me those?
Yes, I emailed you the rack.
The racks, yeah. Cool.
Yes, I did.
Yep, so, yep, that's my agenda, try and get that. I'm gonna try and get the, we got a busy few weeks before Ray leaves me. I'm gonna try and get the dam burned, so that way we can, we around all the poles and get everything prepped to, I'm gonna try and do that this year instead of mowing it. A little safer, a lot quicker.
Wait for rain first.
It's all
We'll
motion.
not be waiting till next year.
I think you ought to get about a 30-mile-an-hour wind out the door. Go for it.
Oh, we can throw it right now. We were out doing I was out at the fishing game this morning, and we did a Pruett survey, and that is it's kind of a cool deal as we managing the lake to see the population of fish and everything.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it was cool because there was a lot of crappie, a lot of bluegill, and white bass, and
What's their assessment of our lake? Do they ever?
they'll send it to me in an email here in a couple weeks. And
But
say,
as you're riding around with him, I mean,
he said
he
that
kind of give you
the smallmouth population is probably hurt the worst, and bass population, because at some point someone released some white bass in this lake, and then they breed it. The average lifespan of the white bass is only 3 years, so they're very fast, aggressive fish, and between them and so that's why we don't really have a lot of bigger walleye and salt in our lake because of that. So they released 1.5 million sauger and walleye in that lake last. And I said, what's your guess of these make it to 18 inches, which is the legal limit out there? He said around 1 to 2%. That's just because of just how much.
Not very much.
Yeah. It was nuts. Kind of cool to see though.
Yeah.
all right.
All right, buddy, thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Jeff.
it.
Take care.
Okay. I'm going to, send out some applications and look them over.
Before you get onto that, remember we were talking about the inspections through Northeast Kansas Environmental Services?
Yep.
And I have here the 2024 wastewater permit and well screening update. And Jackson County is still running well above on new wastewater applications, and they asked why. Somebody, Nemaw County asked why in the world that would be. And they said because in our sanitary codes, that's the way it's set up, that we require the inspections on resale or on new rentals and things. So, that was one of the things we had talked about. Do
We
we
just
really
take it out of the
do
sanitary.
we really need that? Can we take it out of the sanitary regulations so that we're not requiring that?
We can. Want to call Kate down and talk to her about that?
I just didn't do that. That was one of the reasons that we talked about getting out of the Northeast
We can just
Kansas.
eliminate the need for it.
Yeah,
Still
because
utilize it.
here's the breakdown for between one, and we're still running number one on everything here. For as far as for the well stream or for the wastewater.
By a long shot. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
Yeah. And he said that was because Jackson County has that in their sanitary codes.
They don't?
Apparently not.
Maybe Kate can
Yeah.
research other counties and see
Well, I think that's
what's
kind of a no-brainer right there if you look at that.
an eye opener.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's give about 15 minutes to
do those,
this,
yeah.
and then we'll have Kate come down in about 15. I mean, you can call her now if you want to. Tell her to come down in about 15. If you get the minutes done. So, pulled out. And,
Or do you have?
and.
Oh, you mean pulled out as far as?
Of potential applicants.
Okay.
Look them over, write down 3 names that you'd like to interview. Vicky is asked to be back on, but Kate's gonna have a conversation with her because physically and everything, we need to know that she's able to come to meetings.
Yeah, you don't, I don't.
The remainder of these, you're welcome to look at.
Okay.
I think they were just, names that we didn't think were.
good harmony there.
Okay.
So, let's walk through these then. I had Blake and Kennedy, but I had Rowdy Meyer, as one of mine. I think it'd be interesting to interview. But,
Well, we can interview whoever we want to.
Yeah, you can do 4 if you want.
yeah,
That's
do
fine.
that. I don't know Bob. Do you know Bob?
Former teacher coach up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Built a few properties, good guy.
Used to do he was the industrial arts back when it was not
Oh,
still
yeah.
industrial arts, but he built houses here in Bolton. Had a group of kids that went out and built
Oh,
5
I think
houses here in Bolton. And,
yeah, I remember hearing about it. Yeah.
I think it was, what's the housing authority?
Haven't had you for humanity?
No,
It's a whole housing authority. Yeah, that's an authority.
Yes, but it was one down here that's in the old Indian Health building. Affordable housing.
Affordable.
They are the ones that outfitted them with trailer full of tools, the whole 9 yards, and that's what they used and built the houses with.
Yeah, they built one on
Learning
Iowa.
experience. Built one in Iowa, built one on Vermont, built 3 of them.
Did they?
Built one down on the end of Pennsylvania, somewhere down there. They did 3 of them while he was a teacher, so actually Ben worked on 2 of them, I think so.
Okay. You guys all live with Lou?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay. Rancher out west, okay, Lou.
Okay.
Fair board member.
Fair board member.
Yeah, saw that.
Charlie's boy. Charlie Kennedy's boy, Paul's nephew.
I can't believe it.
You would have known Paul.
If I saw
You
him.
were running around here.
Yeah, Paul's a little older.
So,
Younger.
yeah, have
He
the,
graduated 72.
who did?
He graduated 70. Who's
He
up?
graduated 72.
Who did?
Paul. Who did you graduate?
I'm not.
Anyway,
74.
74.
74. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Emily goes back. Okay, so, I think we can, let's interview 4 and just see how it turns out.
Yep.
So
Did
you
you
want
meet Rowdy before?
Pardon me?
Did you meet Rowdy before?
He did, yeah, he came in, we interviewed.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, throw him in the mix again, I don't care.
Yeah. I think.
I thought
We talked to him about economic development.
That's
because
what we
he's
talked
been big
about.
in
We
that.
talked to him
Yes.
about economic
Right,
development.
because he's done that.
Oh, because he came in, yeah, for that part-time temporary position that we were gonna do. Yeah.
Right, that's what we talked
Yeah.
about. You wanna give the clerk's office, direction to send out a letter to each of these individuals, set up a date. I'd like to do this next Monday.
Good, yeah, let's get it done as soon as possible. I'd like to have somebody in place before next month's meeting.
Yeah, I would agree.
When is what?
Has Kate notified us yet about a meeting in November? I don't recall.
I believe that she said she had something coming up in November, didn't she?
Yep.
But we don't know exactly when.
No,
She
no,
hasn't
well,
posted.
it'd be the second
10 days
Thursday.
prior.
So it'd be what, the second Thursday?
14.
Yeah, 14th.
And then we'll wait to hear back from her. She's gonna visit with, Vicky and see if she's,
Oh, speak of the devil, and she shall appear.
You might as well just
It's
move
not
the desk
nice.
down here.
That's not nice.
It's an old expression.
so these would be the 4 people we're gonna interview. So we'll have letters sent out to them. We'll have them here next Monday, if at all possible. And make a decision on that. So it would be 4 to Did I put too?
Not
You
that.
don't need to take calls.
Let's keep getting called away.
Yeah,
I don't
too
know.
many.
Surely
Yeah,
not
just
from
one
all
too
of
many.
us.
Should be Lake, Kennedy, Meyer,
Phyllis, Phyllis.
yeah. And then those, Tara, are for the attorney, our attorney. They're indicating there was 4 requests by Mr. Hoffman wanting to know if any of the board members have been contacted by NextEra, and we have 2 responses back that they have not, and so we'll just save those for him, or you can scan an email to him if she gets them back. Okay, so just to bring you up to speed, Mr. Willett is no longer on the board. We took action on that, and so we will interview, we'll get a couple board members in place, and we'll wait to hear back your conversation with them. And depending on what Gilbert decides to do, that'll be his choice. And you may want to, maybe to your benefit, to just reach out to him and let him know what our decision was and ask him if he's planning on continuing.
We'll do that.
That way it doesn't take a month.
I had Jerry Nelson call me about the KDOT. Is there some kind of an official document that KDOT has to give before you can give the building permit?
Yeah. That's part of the building permit process, making sure that they've crossed all their T's, dotted all their I's.
I know he has contacted them, had them out and looked at the site, and both Steve Allen and Carol, whatever, said that, yeah.
So you need a letter or
And
something
that's what
from
said, so
them,
would
or.
an email suffice for right now?
Absolutely,
Okay,
and that's,
all right.
that's what I told Judd when he was in, I
Okay.
gave him my card so we could send it on to KDOT, or
Okay.
email would be fine.
All right, I will get ahold of Jerry and tell him just to send an email to you, your email address on the card that you gave to Jeff. Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as it's something from KDOT
Yeah.
saying that they're.
Okay. That'll work.
Cause at one point they were talking about a traffic study, needing to be done, and I wasn't aware that that had been done yet, so.
Right, because they, typically when you're doing something that has higher volume of traffic, they want to know you have good visibility both directions, so as cars are pulling out, those types of things, so. I need a resolution number, Tara, if you.
28.
28, should be 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did 27
I
earlier.
think so.
Yeah, so it'll be 28.
Yeah. 27's in here, so 28.
Okay, so I have a resolution here, recommendation from zoning and planning that zoning change from A1 Ag district to B3 general business. This is for Jerry.
Is that from Jerry Nelson?
Yeah, Jerry and Joanne. So I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Second. Moved and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve zoning regs for sign standards. More than welcome to take a look at it, if you want to look at it.
I
You know what the
look at it.
changes are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign.
Oh, yeah.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. There you go, Dan. Wind moratorium, 2029?
No, I think we're gonna use that one.
30.
This one's 30.
30.
It'll be 30.
Yep.
Any discussion on this? You want to read it prior to?
Why don't you guys read that and make sure all the, everything looks good?
Yep. That would be great.
24 months, 2 years.
Okay.
Beginning now. Okay. We'll have another.
The last one expires like January 17th of 25.
And this is a variance for Logan. Oh, and Kerry Vouch. Up by the,
My turn or your turn? Whose turn is it?
My turn.
Okay.
I make a motion that we accept resolution number 2024-30, a wind moratorium of 24 months.
Second.
moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
We haven't signed that.
All right, sorry.
All right, and the last one, so the Bouches were wanting to build, but where they wanted to build was too close to the property line, so they're asking that it be put
20 feet.
at 20 feet, and they got, did you have any objection? No objection?
Nope, no one called this go around. It was, well, the hearing was month before last or last month and they didn't show, so this.
Oh, they didn't show?
Right. So, one neighbor called previously about it just to see what it was, and they
Yeah.
didn't have a problem.
Okay, so, yeah, it's pretty straightforward, they're gonna build a building, and they just wanna be inside that 40-foot piece.
Okay.
And the zoning and planning didn't have a problem with it, so, or the appeal.
Appeal the board.
So I entertain a motion, well, completed, it's approved.
Yeah, unless there were any other stipulations that you wanted from me.
I don't see any, I think, yeah, that's what the system's supposed to do.
Yep.
So, just information.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's this located? Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a Mayetta, so if you go straight west of 158, straight east to T Road, you go a half back north. You know, Wanda
Yeah,
Getz?
copy that as a.
Do you know Wanda
Yeah.
Getz? Just the north property right next door to Wanda.
Okay. North of.
She went Fulton, didn't she? Or no,
Um,
Reed.
What's the fee for the revitalization? Is it based on?
Yeah, it's based on what you're spending on it.
So
Yeah.
we have to come up with a list of basically, yes, list of
Expenditures.
expenditures, and there'll be a percentage of that.
Yeah, and then, at the end of the project, the actual completed project amount.
Yep.
Expenditures.
And then you'll give me a refund if it was over or under. why she just about said, no. Okay. Yeah, that was a question I had. Did we get that filled out?
All right,
You
switching
guys
gears
have any-
again. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Wastewater permits.
Yeah.
For resale inspections in Jackson County. In '24, so far, we've had 41. And we outpaced the others by, the other counties that are in Northeast Kansas Environmental Services by far. The next one is Nemaha with 16. And it was stated in the board meeting that the reason for that is we require in our sanitary codes, if somebody's renting, moving, that it has to be inspected each time. Is that the way that is?
Is it in this book? The zoning?
No,
Fine. I took it out. Nothing.
It's on the website.
it's in a Terry, yeah, I think that's where I put it off.
Well, they said it was in Jackson County's sanitary code. So,
Right.
okay, so none of the other counties are requiring that?
For sales, I don't know that.
Shawnee County does not.
Well, so I'm guessing that here's the, that's the, that was the report that they had at the board meeting. And I'm just trying to figure, that was one of the reasons that we had
Yep.
talked about getting out of Northeast Kansas is because the fees are killing us.
Yeah, so it sounds like maybe what we could do is just change.
Change our
remove from
regulations.
sanitary.
For resale. The resale.
Resale
not
or
new
rental.
Not new construction.
Oh, no,
Not new
I
construction.
was
No,
gonna say,
no.
that is extremely important that we have.
It is.
Yeah, no,
This is for
just
resale.
for the resale and for renters. Each time it changes hands for renters, you don't want to have to put the burden on to.
I think it says in there, yeah, every time you have a renter move out, you're supposed to have the wastewater system.
Inspected. That happens 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 times a year.
Even once a year.
Yeah.
They're saying that only Jackson County
Yes.
is
They said
requiring
that's the
that.
reason it's so high on us. As you can see, we're the #1 by far on that. 41 this year so far.
Is there a different area for resale?
They said
Because I
that
see
was,
new wastewater applications, which that doesn't surprise me because we have a lot of new construction.
but they said that was the reason that was so high is because of the resale. That's what they said in the meeting. And that's what I wanted to check with you and see if that is.
But even if it's not, I'd still like to take that out of our waste.
Sanitary codes that you have to get it re-inspected on.
That should be the decision the purchaser makes. And typically, a lot of times, banks will make that decision.
Yeah.
And if they go, you know what, we're gonna loan you money, especially FHA.
Yep.
If we're gonna loan you money,
Then
you gotta have it inspected.
Yep,
Great.
that's fine.
Did they give you any indication where in the code it said that?
They did not.
Taking this a step further, the consumer is paying for the service, right?
Twice.
Okay, so why does the county have to fund it then? Because the consumer it's mandatory, the consumer. So now the county's putting $10,000 into this too. Why doesn't we just let the consumer pay for the whole thing and move on? And we don't appropriate money for it.
Where would they find that individual? And that it would have to be somebody who's certified.
I don't mean the individual, I mean, they're paying a service to have someone come out to provide the service, to do all the checking, right? Investigations, they have
Yeah, the
someone.
landowner?
Yeah.
Homeowner?
No. Here's the scenario. I'm going out and build a home, western part of the county, okay? In our regulations, it says you have to have it inspected, your septic system, your lagoon, all that. And if it's a well too, correct? We have that in our regulations.
I don't require a level inspection.
Well, new well test is not required.
And you're talking
Okay.
about two different things, so new construction we wanna maintain, only
Sure.
resale of property.
Okay, but it also says wells in there too, on those, trains. What I'm saying is, why not put all the burden on the consumer and us back out of the $10,000 appropriation to NEK?
You wouldn't get any pay to go down into Jackson County, I don't think, and inspect if they were not part of the multi-county Northeast Kansas environmental.
Just throwing it out there.
So, but you bring up a good point. The point is that there are other ways to get those inspections done. If you are I don't know, is there anybody here in town that pumps, cistern or,
Honeydews, I think.
honeydews?
Yeah.
So he's probably certified to inspect also.
Sure.
So I know in Topeka, there are people who are certified to inspect that pump, your,
Well, yeah, septic systems, but I don't know that there's anybody, I don't know that he would be certified to inspect your lagoon. I mean, you think a lagoon's pretty much.
So Ed Cathers used to say, I think he had to be certified to build them and stuff, so he was certified to go out and look at them and determine whether they were meeting whatever code. I mean, again, that's gonna be on the burden of the purchaser and the seller if they desire to have it done.
Shawnee County doesn't belong to any.
Now, they have their own inspector.
But that's what we had talked, Kate, about.
Okay.
When we were talking about getting out of Northeast Kansas and having somebody in her office do it. And I don't wanna put that burden on her office.
Right.
I
There's
really don't.
certification and
Correct.
all that.
Because if you're over somebody with that certification, you have to have the certification also.
And the other thing too is, and I wanna state that Northeast Kansas helps us find things that are being done out of regulation.
Right, so I think
That would be
that,
out of compliance.
Yeah.
I think
So-
Mark's thought is we stay in NEK, we just, in our own regs, we change it that we don't require it on the sale of the property.
And if,
Only on
if
new
if the lender's required, then so be it, that's something.
That's
That's a
completely
totally
up to
different
them.
thing, yeah.
We're out of the picture though.
So that would be finding where it is.
Well, and you don't have to do it today.
No.
If you wanna
I'm just putting
research
that
it.
bug in your ear because, we had talked about it, and when they brought this up, and they said, well, and it wasn't even me that questioned it, another county questioned, well, why is Jackson County so much higher? And he said, well, because the resales and the renters, and that's what they require under sanitary codes.
So they're saying they only did 41, that's just as of whatever date you
Yes.
guys had the meeting.
Yes. Last week,
In 23, it was 32 too.
through September. That's your year, yeah.
Okay, so this is a year.
Yes.
So if somebody's buying a property and they're both good with it, the bank doesn't have a problem with it.
That
Yeah,
seems
so-
low. That seems low for new construction and resales and
Right.
rental, that seems low.
For us here in Jackson County.
Yeah, I mean, if we're combining all of it,
I would agree. I
Well,
thought
now,
it was,
and okay, over there in that last column though, it does say resale over there, the last column, correct?
yes.
so maybe one's new.
And I don't know if that was lumped all together or how that.
Okay, so, no, that must be, you had written in resale over Jackson.
And that's okay, it said about 41, yes. So there again, I'm not quite sure just where they're getting their numbers or how they're getting their numbers. I don't know, Martha.
Yeah, which county that's coming out of, because it's like
Yeah.
at the end and not
I know.
indicating,
I know.
so yeah, curious.
So I don't know if Martha could shed some light on that or not, but, and she might even know where in the regs that is.
Yeah,
You want a copy of that?
Sure. I'll, call Martha and ask her
Okay.
if she knows where
like I say, next just put the bow in your ear, I don't know that I necessarily wanna get out of Northeast Kansas because of, they do have some valid points, and I don't wanna put the burden on your office to try to fill that void. I don't think that'd be,
Extremely, because here's what I've seen is that people come into our office for an ag building permit, which they don't get charged for ag building permits, for one, and it's an ag building, right? So there are fewer requirements as to setbacks and all that.
correct.
Then we get a notification from Northeast Kansas that it's a one-bedroom.
Shouts.
Right.
Yeah.
So they do help. in that
Sure.
regard.
Sure.
Okay, I just asked the question,
Yeah.
is it necessary? Because of loaning institutions are going to require
Like I
it.
said, I don't wanna put the burden on you.
No, I would never go down that
That's
path,
not
but I
what-
just thought, if I'm responsible, for example, somewhat parallel, I have to have proof of insurance that I'm gonna build this house. That's on me. That's not on any other entity. The bank's gonna want it, if I have a mortgage, the bank's gonna wanna know about it. So it's on me, and I'm.
So you're saying not requiring, letter or approval from Northeast Kansas?
That's a possibility, I'm saying that we pay them $10,000, the consumer who's building it pays whatever amount, 300-400, whatever. And if it's required, or it's required for them to prove the purchase, upon purchasing or granting, whatever, that they have everything inspected by an independent, but still have it inspected. That's all I'm saying. Because like I said, if I go build a building, I mortgage it, I've got to have proof of insurance.
I think though, on new construction, you still want to have Northeast Kansas overseeing the construction of a new facility.
Yes.
Okay.
Only on it, because if they're inspecting lagoons, laterals, all that stuff on new construction, we know they're being done right.
Right.
It's only the inspection once they're, they sell the house that we wouldn't require.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
we
saying.
don't get those.
What?
When that happens between the resale part of
Right.
it, we don't get that.
Right.
That's maybe a closing or something, but we never see those
Right.
letters.
Right. No, you don't. And the only time we get it is when she gives a report that shows how many they did last year. Or a complaint. So I think, yeah, if we can change that in our deal, I think that'd be good. Good catch on that one. Yeah, I've got it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You want to, okay.
I already talked, I showed Katie the applicant before. She's gonna let us know how our conversation with Ricky goes.
Might not call Thursday, sometime.
Let us
this
know
week.
Monday. Or maybe by the end of the week if you can. And, yeah, by Monday would be fine. If we're gonna interview on Monday, we'll know.
Maybe just shoot you individual emails.
Yeah,
just
or, yeah, you can,
Commissioners email.
yeah, commissioners email or individually would be better, cause.
Yeah, because I leave my computer here.
And then also about your conversation with, Delvin. Okay?
And we're gonna have the clerk's office send me a letter to Mr. Willett.
Yes, an official letter from Mr. Wall would be good.
Do you have my email?
I think so.
My personal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You can just call me.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I don't have anything else for
Right.
you.
You're okay with minutes next week? Not today, it's.
Nope, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, anyway.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have some candy.
Sorry to, I left a bag up in your office.
Fake chocolate.
Hear me?
Fake chocolate?
It's fake chocolate.
Fake? Well, it's for sure fake chocolate.
You got Snickers and Milky Ways in there? Tootsie Roll.
Say it.
All Tootsie Rolls.
Ah,
Tonight sells
breaks
Tootsie
teeth,
Rolls.
huh?
I said, that's what tonight sells Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, I got, yeah, Lions, was it Lions Club selling them at the, ball game the
No,
other
that was nice.
That was the Knights?
All right, I don't have anything else. I got, you emailed Rob.
Yep. And
I
he
left a
already
message.
emailed me back, so thank you, we'll get that put out.
He texted me about, the 30 by 30, and he said he would, call back when he got a chance. But anything you could do to research prior to that would be helpful. I mean, if you want to research this individual.
Yeah.
And find out what his information was. He was a federal,
Yeah, Senator.
a senator.
Federal
Yeah.
senator from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
All right.
I will do so.
Have anything else? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Sorry.
I'm perfectly satisfied with that.
No. I'm talking about, Kate.
Okay.
Yeah, you can talk for her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can have her come down. You can explain that to her. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that seems like it's reasonable thing.
That's really, I think, all I had, unless you guys had anything.
I haven't yet been able to dig into the zoning regs and reviewing your last request, so if you have any more, we can still talk about other parts of it. Version 2 is in construction, under construction. We'll see if an iron beam falls on my head there and ruin that.
All right. We should have Kate, yeah, we want to have Kate come down because we didn't ever get a
Size on that.
on the burial, what we're gonna allow for a private burial.
Just for Brees.
Yeah, just ask her about the size of the private burial if she's had time. And then I'll let you address the, what you got?
Gotten all the signs put up yet, I'm still sitting on the.
Minimum maintenance?
They never said whether they've got them all up yet.
I don't believe, I can call.
Well, I just wanted to check, because I'm still sitting on the resolution.
Yes.
Okay, let me call, our new superintendent.
And I also want to put the planning commission to bed too.
Yeah. Hey Linda, this is Keith. Hey, came up with a question. The minimum maintenance signs, has that job been completed? Or do, okay, but it was completed, we did have all the signs up. You're saying some of the farmers put them up, or took them down because they couldn't get their combines down the road? Okay.
Morning.
Okay.
Morning, Kate. How are you?
Hi, Marty.
I am doing great.
And so how far back do we need to move those to accommodate that? Yeah, we can go ahead and I think since you've already completed it, we can go ahead and do the resolution. If you have to adjust some, I think it'll be okay. Okay. Would you rather we wait till you get? Okay. 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 Yeah, and maybe they'll just have to move those back
Well, I
down
think
the
you're
road a
gonna
little way
have
so
to
they're not right.
email and hold the
Yeah.
commissioners themselves.
Okay.
planning commission.
All right.
I did.
Sounds good, Lydia. Thank you.
Okay.
She's still up, she's good. I emailed them Thursday, she needs a raise.
Yeah.
Thursday, well, I heard, Christmas is that to me.
Okay.
One replied back
No.
at the meeting on Thursday
I'll
night.
comment on it here in just a
That's not-
minute.
I have not heard from the other guy.
Okay. Yeah,
going to reply to the email then?
Yeah, I would say that that would be my personal desire is to have some written record of what, them saying, no, we don't have anything. So, and it's just, we're wanting to be thorough here because,
What's it, brown bag?
I don't know. I don't expect it.
Brown bag.
Oh, that is, DE?
I will send them another email. I sent it to
Oh, here it is.
everybody.
Thursday,
Where
October
please reply to
17th.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
At 12.
if you have to, you might reach out to the ones that aren't responding by phone and say, hey, I really need you to respond to this through the email, just to get them to move forward with that.
One
So,
of them I can't ever get a hold of.
which
A
one?
phone call, Chris. I always have to email him. He
Okay.
verbally told me, but I'll just,
Yeah,
Yeah, we need something in writing.
yeah,
can I just go ahead and shoot him an email
Yeah.
that please respond to me?
Yeah,
So
and
I don't
that's,
have to wait on phone calls, that's the most
Here it is.
consuming.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just a desire to get everybody yes or no answer as opposed to a no.
Chris,
I just
Have an
said, per county councilor, we need a written response to this question.
Tell them I'm angry and
I will do that,
Chris Abernathy,
yes.
I can hand deliver it to him tomorrow. if you'd like.
No, he got it.
Oh, he did,
just
okay.
verbally told me.
Oh, okay,
Thursday.
okay. I'll see him tomorrow.
okay.
I'll get that done before you see him, so.
Okay.
So as soon as, Christie's done. Okay, so in reference to the resolution for the minimum maintenance signs, when they installed them, they installed some of them too close to the intersection, and they were taken down because semis couldn't get around the corner. So, Matt is out moving them back where they should be, so they're not impeding the traffic at the corners. She would prefer that we wait until that is done, and she'll let us know when that's done, but thank you for bringing that up. Okay, Kate, distance, the site shall not be no larger than on private burial
You're
plot.
asking me.
Yep, you get to make that decision.
how much room do they need?
No more than
Half acre?
Oh,
Acre?
quarter,
Half acres. Pretty large.
maybe.
Well, I mean, I think you,
Let me look at my notes.
just thinking it through, I mean, families, big families, and perhaps not all the areas, you don't necessarily have like the, we're gonna put everybody, the ground's suitable to put everybody
So-
in inches of each other.
One of the things I wondered, so that we could kind of stay uniform, is there any way to go back in the records? We have several around the county and look and see what those are. We have one.
One that we just recently did, one that was approved early on, but the burial didn't actually happen where they wanted to originally. There were no measurements, there was nothing other than they got approved in this 100 and some acre parcel that they could have. So the burial didn't happen in the area they indicated that it would.
So I know out by Zibell, there's a small cemetery there. You know, there's one out here, Dan, that always talks about that nobody takes care of, but it's on private property.
Yep.
Thompson
Personal
Burns.
ones?
Thompson Burns.
Thompson Burns.
Thompson
That's a
Burns.
different one than.
But
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
my thought
No,
process
it
is,
was
how
one.
big are those? Do we have record of
I don't know the measurements on those. Do we have anything on those cemeteries?
Well, it could be, you could GIS it and see if they are separated out somehow.
I mean, we could look at some of the smaller ones, like the one off 16
Yeah.
there.
yeah, the
And then
Hoff?
16 and M, yeah.
Hoff. Yeah,
That's
let's
a
take a look at that.
relatively
I can
small one.
actually tell you how big it is pretty quick.
Half
So-
an acre is 88 yards, is almost a football field.
Yeah, and I think that
Like
the incentive probably would be to have the smaller than
Yeah.
the larger. You don't wanna take a lot of.
I mean, Hoff's, that
Taking
Hoff's
out
has
of
probably
production.
got, if you do it 20 people in it, 20 headstones.
half football field by half football field.
I would think that would be,
That's plenty.
I would think that would be plenty.
They can always come back in and apply for other extensions, couldn't they?
I mean, they could get a variance, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or something. Well, I mean, I think what I would say, that would be a part where they have some strange feature of the land that doesn't allow them to bury everybody in that space. They have to really show, they have to come in and say, okay, well, I've got, you know, this portion of it, this other portion is a swamp or something, you know, because whatever, and I need to go the other direction, and you guys, I mean, that's just kind of variances.
I would think 150 feet by 150
Yeah.
feet would be plenty.
Yeah, I do too.
That ought to be big enough, I would guess, and then, like I said, if you want something else, they come in and ask for a variance on it.
And thinking down the road, say this property changes hands 3 times, and a family buys it and says, we don't want it, county take it over. We have to have something written to make sure that it will not be taken over by the county in the future, whether it's 50 years down the road or what. Or it can be changed by appealing, I guess, to the
Well,
board.
I mean, I think the problem with that is that you really, I don't know that you guys could bind them, bind future council,
Yeah.
future board in that manner, because.
But I believe by statute right now, that if somebody buys a property with a private cemetery on it, that by statute, they are responsible for maintaining that cemetery. And they know that up front.
Yeah.
So the Haas Cemetery out on Emmett 116 is 0.38 acres, give or take. Rough estimate, because it's got a curve in it, it's got 15 headstones, it looks like, and room for a whole lot more. I'm thinking quarter acre is
Quarter acre
plenty.
Yeah.
44 yards by 13, 14 yards.
So can we pick, let's put in no larger than quarter acre? Okay.
Good. All right.
So. Alright, we have that official document, you'll go ahead and type that in then, Christie, in the official.
You gotta do it as like a amendment to the zoning code. I don't know if you got another one. Still got that one going around.
November is our next meeting, we just had last meeting.
Yeah.
This is like another amendment to the zoning code, so that's good.
Okay, so we don't need anything else on that, okay?
I would just need it so I can publish it in the paper and all that, whatever else you want me to.
Did I ever send that to you, the Word version? Okay. Cause there's nothing magical about it, it's just, I just took it from, you sent me that section, and I just took it and added on to it.
Yeah, I don't use the Word version, which is what I would need.
I'll double check if
I sent you the Word version.
yeah, and then I should, I don't know if I just sent it to you guys or.
I think so, because you just gave me a copy, a paper copy, last week.
All right, I'll find it and get it.
Are you guys gonna add the quarter acre?
I'll add it.
Okay, and so, before you go, we have all the applicants then for, you have to run
We already, yeah, I've got she wants to go ahead and renew hers.
Okay, on the appeal,
His work.
okay, yeah, we're gonna talk about, Mr. Willett, and what we're gonna do with him. You wanna be part of that conversation?
Are you gonna do that now?
Uh-huh. I think we are. You good with that?
Sure.
Or do you have additional information that you wanna bring to this, or? Okay.
I was just working on the minutes.
Okay. So before we go into that, I watched part of your meeting. Somebody had YouTubed it, so I watched it. The individual that came, the senator, Anything else, about that before we talk about Steve?
I had talked to one of the members of the planning commission, Bill, and asked him how it went and how the talk went, because I planned on coming at night to listen to that. And I got hung up babysitting granddaughter, so I didn't make it in time, so, well, things happen. But, I haven't listened to it online or anything, but I did, he did say that he was a very intelligent gentleman, but most of the questions that he brought up about the energy storage system, all bad, and, so on and so forth, and it's like the regulations already is there will be no battery energy storage systems. It'll all be inverters and everything like that, so, once again, I think that people are jumping the gun rather than, if they have criticisms, they need to look at regulations first before they criticize, because they don't quite understand where we're going. You know, I would take constructive criticism all day long, but when public uproar and misinformation is out there and it's just rampant, I don't like that. So I'm glad that his question was answered over there, that there will be nothing like that, and size-wise and things like that. So anyway, that's where I'm at on that.
Okay. All right, so I'll open up the discussion on Mr. Willett and whether to remove him from his position.
As I've stated before, and I think he violated public trust by not, he's made the claim that he's been on there for 7 years, something like that, is that what it is? And if he is actually wanting to do a public service, if he's been on there for 7 years, then he needs to understand, and he should have known that that was not legal what he did. Yes, according to his little post that he put online about according to Robert's rules, I made a legal motion, this, that, the other thing. Yep, you did. That was perfectly fine. But according to statute, you didn't have the public notification for people to come in and talk about solar when it wasn't even on the agenda for that. So he should have known, and if he says he didn't, I'm not buying that. And I think that, I think he violated public trust, he violated my trust. I don't trust it as far as I can throw it right now. So, in my opinion, he should be removed from both the, planning commission and the board of appeals.
Got a motion?
I will make a motion.
I haven't
Let's
asked
discuss
for
it
it
first.
yet. We're still in discussion, so I wanna know where you're at.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I think it's crossed a boundary that should not, it wasn't even presented or on the record for a presentation. Thoughts?
My thoughts is Steve Willett is very thorough, probably one of the more thorough members that we have
Okay.
in researching the regulations and trying to do what's right by the community. If you guys consider giving him a little leeway on this one before making that decision, I don't think it was probably intentional to do something unlawful. I think that there should have been a statement after the wind moratorium on consideration for solar. I think it should have been a separate thing. But I don't think that it was intentional, like a malicious and
So
intentional
at
thing to do.
any point in the meeting, did you not advise him that?
Or did anybody advise him that this was not correct?
I simply stated that it would probably come back, that this resolution was for wind moratorium only. That was the only comment made about it.
Like I I say, I don't believe that I can trust him on the board. I really don't. After 7 years, he should have known, and if he didn't, as thorough as he is in his research, because yes, he has presented documentation, he has come in, showed this and showed that, but he should have known that there should have been public notice for solar if they were gonna put that out there. That's my point right there. And I've heard from more than one person that, what are you guys trying to do? What are you slipping in on us?
So, I'm gonna throw a caveat in here that was brought up to me. It is what he did equally what whoever seconded the motion and the 3 people who voted on it? And do we hold all 3 people accountable, because they all 3, it couldn't have gone anywhere without a second, and it couldn't have gone anywhere without a majority vote.
And I will, go ahead. You still got one?
So, it was asked of me, and I have to take pause at that and think through that, because they should have known that by seconding it, there was not 3 weeks' notice given. So, I
will tell you that the 3rd person that voted for it did so they could get it in front of the county council. Because he said he knew, and he told him during that meeting, you can't do this. So he went ahead and did it.
I just think that there's a fine line, and there's a lot of pressure on all of those board members, especially with that topic, to do everything exactly perfect all the time. And I think that was a mistake, and I fear that we would be losing somebody that is very attentive and works really hard and wants to do the right thing. I'm just putting that.
Yeah, and you don't have to, it's not just, it's okay or removal. You certainly could, determine by motion that he needs to be reprimanded, or, and that could go equally for anybody who,
I agree, I think, and I guess the more I've thought about this, because, I've put a lot of thought into this, that the better thing to do would be to reprimand everyone involved, written reprimand, and move ahead from there. That's me personally. It irritates me. I believe that it was intentional, but I'm not sure it requires removal. And I'll honor whatever you guys decide. If there's a motion to remove, and there's a second, we'll take a vote. It doesn't have to be unanimous. We have a greater responsibility to make sure, even if we think somebody is doing something intentional, I don't want it to look like we're trying to pull somebody off this board to make it look like we're gonna stack somebody on this board, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I would rather err on the side of giving him some grace with a verbal or a written reprimand, because I think that's what we're asked to do. I think sometimes it's a very hard thing for this board to go above and beyond what the general public or anybody else is required. Am I saying that right?
I think I get it.
It's kind of like when you become a judge, there are certain things that you can and can't do anymore. And so
Then
I really struggle with it.
I would like Mr. Willett in here and, that we talk to him and explain to him just
I'm fine with that.
just how thin of a line that he is on. He's on a razor edge as far as I'm concerned right now.
And I agree with you, Mark.
We do.
I'm glad we had several weeks to take a step back and look at this from a different perspective. let the emotions come down a little bit.
So what's sad too is there's people out there in the general public that are praising him for doing this.
I know.
And saying he did lawfully, he did this, he did that, and he didn't. That's what's bad.
Yeah.
Is there's people thinking he did perfectly fine, whatever he wanted to do, and that's what's wrong.
That's wrong. I just can't say it plainly enough.
And that's why I want him in here sitting here so I can explain it to him, so he can go explain to his friends that think that he did everything correctly.
Yeah, I think that might be, there also could be something to the effect of a statement that he would be
Willing to put out.
willing to put out, basically says.
Yeah. Let's have, do you guys mind if we have that conversation with
No,
him?
that's fine, let's bring him in, I'm more than happy to have that
A
conversation.
Go ahead,
letter,
Dan.
yeah, a letter of admonishment.
Well, and I think the recognition, I think when he was here, I think he tried to justify his actions.
Correct.
That's
as-
right.
in some direct
Yeah.
way, and I think that's probably the thing that we've got to get past is the fact that, you know, we got to get to the core of the real problem, which is the fact that it wasn't noticed properly in the public, and this is
That's
public
for
responsibility. Whether or not it's a good idea or a bad idea or indifferent, we've got a process, and that needs to be, you know.
So would you mind making arrangements with Steve to have him here? And if he's around today and wants to come in yet this afternoon,
Yeah, I'm just assuming if he could come here, if he could get here today.
if he's available to stop in,
That way all of us can talk to him.
I'd be glad to put this to bed. I think he would too. So I think that would be.
But don't you also think that all members of both boards should understand that moving forward, that when you have to stick to the agenda, you cannot, someone wants to bring in a nuclear power plant, you know? You know what I'm saying? I'm being extreme,
Yeah.
but all members should realize that what's on the agenda needs to be, as well as the
Well,
chair.
this would probably be kind of my first thought on this would be, you need to have a discussion with him, correct? Whatever, the reprimand portion of it.
Yeah.
There needs to be an acceptance of him that he accepts the reasoning of what was wrong with it. And then I think it is a moment where maybe I put together something that says,
Yeah,
Planning Commission generally, understand what happened, why it was wrong,
yeah,
and what we need to be attending to.
I like that.
yep, that's what I was suggesting.
Something that they can sign as well.
Yes, showing
Oh,
that they
good idea, good
acknowledge
idea,
it.
yeah. Acknowledge and accept. Okay.
And maybe I know it might be best just to give you time to structure all that, instead of having me here.
Before we have him in here?
Yeah, just
Okay.
because
Okay.
I think there's all the steps that kind of have to fall in place before I do what I do.
Sure.
I don't mind him coming in yet this afternoon, and then we'll put together the document that goes to the board. I think having a conversation with him, I think both for us and for him, he would like to know where he stands on his board position. And so, again, if he's available,
Yep.
and we'll tell him that there'll be a document following this that addresses this confusion.
Okay with that, we like that.
So then, Todd, this resolution that we adopted this morning, is this only for this meeting, or does it go?
It's only for the
Commission meeting, okay. And so I'd like to have that conversation with you, that if we adopted a set of rules of conduct for this meeting, and we'll provide that with you. If you'd like to take a few minutes, go upstairs, whatever, read it over. If you would like that adopted, can she do that at the zoning and planning? And
Well, I mean, I think, the methodology is a little bit different because, the open meeting portion of it is the same, in essence. You don't generally just let people come in and talk about whatever they want to talk about. There's open comment. You have, and you strictly adhere to the rule that the only time public comment is taken is when there is an application and notice to people.
the only time that might change would be in the future, if we have a draft of zoning regulations and people want to speak to those.
Yeah, and that would be, But that would be a notice public hearing too.
Okay.
I think those, because they're a broad change to the regs, they would have a chance to comment at that time.
And maybe they would look a little different because you don't need somebody coming in and just taking up 3 minutes of foul language.
And I think that's I'm just mentally figuring out because the dynamic is a little different. I mean, it's much more, we only meet like once a month, right? Okay.
If
If there's
needed.
something,
Yeah.
yeah.
If there isn't anything before them, they don't meet.
Yeah, so really there isn't, I mean, the only time you would really, I mean, I guess I'm just trying to figure out because I've never been there, how many times there's something there that doesn't have a public comment, you know, sort of hearing aspect to it. You know what I mean? That doesn't have, or you're not reviewing something and voting on something that has the right of public comment, or public hearing.
Well, let me ask you this, the chair has the right to shut down anything, correct?
Yeah.
So, I don't, what would be the harm in well, yeah, but I mean, what would be the harm in extending those rules to the planning commission and the, board of appeals?
You take a look at them and then we can talk
It
later.
says so in paragraph C, but it's, of your resolution, Todd. But it also says electors, they're not actually electors, so.
Well, the electors are people who come
Before the board.
Okay,
That's supposed to be,
okay, so paragraph C probably, or
And what
B and C, go ahead.
What I'm looking at and what I'm thinking is somebody comes into the planning commission meeting and, signs up to speak and then jumps up and starts talking about something that is totally off the record from
Off topic.
you know, my YouTube channel's doing this, come watch me, blah, 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 blah. Somebody comes in like we had this morning and disrupts the meeting, you know, I want to have some teeth behind it so that you can actually say, get out. This is not, this is
chair,
not
right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's good, that's good.
well, I guess the only thing I'm thinking of is like I had like 10 copies of it, now I can't find one of them. You have a copy of that? I'm just trying to think in my head whether it's something I could go back and add.
Tweet for that.
Because, well, I'm gonna have to tweak it, you know, if you wanna make it into the resolution, I'm gonna have to change some things. Yeah, I mean, you just, I think it'd probably just take a little bit of English on it to make it track what you're doing.
So November's meeting is gonna be the amendment for the private cemetery and something like this as well.
No, it wouldn't be, these guys would propose it, I think. They would put this as
We would
rule
just,
of conduct, unless, I mean, you guys have bylaws, do you?
Yes.
Well, that may be the,
Did you say that?
That was earlier this year.
I don't know if this is bylaw
City
or
Right on track.
meeting rules. So that's kind of, because you decide your bylaws amongst yourselves, I think.
Yeah, they already did that.
Yeah, so,
This is how they.
How do you track this?
I noticed that we have one board member absent, we have one board position that's vacant, one board member is absent. But did you give a reason?
Oh, I see, yeah.
That's a tough one. If she's open up for re-election, do you believe, and I have this, I've known her all my life, so this is hard for me, but, I mean, what's coming ahead is hard. It's gonna be hard work. Is she up for that, do you believe? It concerns me that she's not up for the task. And board members need to be there, it's only once a month. think it's just important that, you know, we have that conversation with her. Did you feel comfortable asking her, hey, are you up for the task? Do you realize the importance, there could be additional meetings? Do you believe that you can physically make it to those meetings? I don't think there's any problem
I don't think there's
asking
anything
that
wrong with that.
question. Yeah, I would appreciate that, because, I think she'll be honest with you. She's a pretty straightforward gal. But it concerns me if we have multiple meetings a month, once we get into these regulations, and people are asking questions, and they're required to, you know, to be there for those, and do their research, and understand what they're voting on, and then to be there to vote on things. I think that's really important. We do have one open position, and I'd like to set up an interview for that position. We'll take a look at that, and we'll go through who we're gonna look at, and we'll let you know.
I'll have, the meeting minutes from Thursday and all that stuff down here this afternoon.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
And just give Mr. Willett a call if you would, and see if he'd come in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm adapting the rules to their pay. Right?
Perfect.
You're just
I would
sending the
appreciate
book
that.
onto the private extension.
Got that here. Paperwork up.
I'll see you later.
Okay. What else you got? Anything for us? You said nothing on solar. Is there anything you guys want to talk about?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna,
If you don't have the version 2
yeah, I don't have to.
ready yet, then I think we're good on that.
Well, unfortunately, you've had to spend a lot more time on other things that don't even deal with what we do for protecting business, and it's interfered with that. So.
It's fascinating, but not exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get past these guys overall, and then, you know, because it's being in this position, not only here, but other cities and stuff.
So I do have a question, because I was asked this, and so I want to just run it past you guys. Todd, I know you dealt with the coal industry and how all that works, but this is a little different critter. At what point, I was asked, what will all this, if for some reason a solar facility goes in Jackson County, how will that benefit the county? And people, there are a large group of people, they reached out to me and want to know, how is it going to affect financially the county? Because if it doesn't, why would we allow it, first off? Those are the questions that I was asked. And how would that affect them in their, what they pay in property tax and stuff like that? I think there's been some questions that have come up that talk about this, and I wonder, is it not a good idea to just go ahead and have this conversation, to start talking about how does it really benefit us? Are we wasting our time writing all these regulations if it's not going to benefit us by reducing property taxes and benefit the county? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's probably the thing that's kind of itching in the back of my mind too, because, and this is the way I divide it up mentally, just the way that the law says that these things kind of flow. Okay, so, you know, bucket one is it costs the county X dollars to regulate something.
Yes.
You know, and that means real work and, you know, people who put eyes on stuff, people who inspect stuff, you know, wear and tear on roads, that kind of thing that you've got to directly assess to just the they're doing something special.
Right.
So, you gotta set up that structure, and that's what's kind of in there that's not flushed out, is you got an administrative cost that's directly the result of disappearing that you didn't have before.
So, yeah, and that was one of the questions, okay, how do we meet that?
Yeah,
How do we come up with a dollar amount? Then the next portion of it is
Yeah, the next step.
the payment in lieu of taxes.
Yeah, and I think that's important because you're right, there's the administrative cost is one element, second of all, this element of perhaps kind of in the middle, where it's more of infrastructure, wear and tear that's physical that you see, you know, if they're, whatever they're doing, when they install, construction happens, they have all that stuff, and I'm not obviously qualified to assess what that is, but there is an element of that that's a direct cost that you guys have to come, the county has to come out of pocket to pay the people to go work on the roads that are now.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's the second key. The third thing is just the revenue aspect, meaning there isn't any tied to specific things that you are incurring because of this. And that's, in some respects, that's tax, right? And that's what this division is. You know, the lower scheme here is that you're just doing assessments against them for administration, and then at that point it becomes a tax. Because you don't have to account to them for, well, we're fixing your roads in front of your place, or we're paying the inspector. It's just, this is part of the general tax structure we have. Now, I think two aspects of that is, one, is the property going to be assessed at a greater value than it was before?
Which, yeah, I believe it's going to be.
Which means that if that value that goes up means more money into the coffers, then, you know, that kind of answers that question. And it's only a question of whether that is, you know, in your guys' mind, sufficient to justify what you're doing. The second thing is that if just the value change is not enough, you know, you have in your mind a number, you know, this whole thing is costing us X, and we think that the community, if they're going to have a large-scale system,
Right.
that's going to take up a lot of land, that's going to, you know, whatever, it's going to put stuff out of production from what we're traditionally about, which is agriculture. Then what is that number? And then working back, kind of, because if the value doesn't support, if this, you know, the number is this, and the valuation increase only goes half, then you're in that zone where you need to figure out how you get, and that's, I think, the payment in lieu of taxes. It's straight up, obviously, that if somebody comes out there, and the trade comes out there and says, now it's going to double, you know, your taxes are going to go up. And it's productive. And then the only kind of, what I think is policy wiggle room there is that you have the justification to public in some way may say, well, we're doing a, you know, take care of energy needs for the future. Meaning, we're looking forward, you know, in 20 years, coal's out, solar's in, you gotta be on the cutting edge, we gotta be producing. And maybe it doesn't go right to your house, but overall, we're reducing that use. And that's the, you know, that's a political question. It's not a legal question. So,
Yeah, I thought about this too the other day, and I like to go to my science background and go to law of relativity, action, reaction. Okay, we're going to have the reaction to them using our roads. We have the bucket list, so to speak. The landowners are going to probably offset anything as far as future revenues from that property. Most of it's hill ground, and it's not bottom ground producing row crops. Okay, some of the landowners are going to work. Decommissioning is another action reaction. There's money set aside for the reaction of tearing that down. So in that manner, I think it appears there's more positive versus negative on that at this point in time. These energy companies may not accept something that if we put something in law to where they will accept this. So they just say, no, we're not coming here to do this. So from that standpoint, you know, there's financial gains looking forward. Can't tax it, so we need the so-called pilot or donation. That's my take.
So the other piece of this, another individual asked me, well, what is it going to do for the communities directly involved? When they say directly involved, so because of the location of where it's at, you're going to have a Delia and an Emmett.
Yeah, you're talking about cities as opposed to.
Yeah, cities, incorporated cities. And how is it going to directly affect them? And they believe that their fire departments will need money. They believe that, even the cities, to help with infrastructure. So all these things can be negotiated, I believe, in some sort of payment in order to help these cities in those ways. And again, the one individual said, the community wants to know, because it helps them decide. I mean, there's over 13,000 people in this community. We hear on a regular basis, we hear from about 15, maybe 20. And so they're saying to me, we need to know some answers to these things. And, my first thought was, well, let's kind of put the cart before the horse, but I understand where they're coming from. So thoughts, Mark?
I agree with what you're saying, as far as we need to get some answers, but some of these answers are not going to be forthcoming until we actually have the regulations written.
But I think,
And the pieces that fit in after the regulations, which is payment in lieu of taxes, resiliency fund, road fund, so on and so forth.
yeah, direct cost.
Yeah.
But did Douglas County, when they put that 1,000-acre in, did they have some sort of,
Already had a thing in place?
yeah, did they have some sort of benefit cost analysis? That's not the right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Prior to this, I know Pot County had a study done, that listed out what the benefits for the county could possibly be over a 30-year period. I know what Nemaha County is receiving. And so I think.
Yeah, I need models or fitted.
So.
Legal too. We didn't put legal in there. I have written legal because all the work that, from a legal standpoint, should be paid for too.
Right, and I think some of these things are direct costs, so that can be covered in a paragraph of all direct costs of these types of things will be covered by whoever comes in here and builds a facility. It's the unknown things of payment in lieu of taxes, what they'll do for community schools, that type of thing, fire departments. Those are the unknown things, and I think people want to understand. And the property tax piece. How will it increase the value of property tax? So do we look at other communities, Douglas County? Do we look at Iowa? Do we look at other places around Kansas that already have current large-scale facilities up and running?
Well, I think.
Shawnee County?
Yeah, I think the question is that I think you do, at a certain point, there needs to be some grounding for those first two elements I talked about, the administrative cost and the actual cost of the damage done or whatever. And I think I would include if, you have to, if somebody, I don't know who tell me this, but there's some specialty equipment that the fire department needs because of this, or there's some, expense to people because of it somehow, then that's still part of that, and that is quantification. I don't think you need to, in my mind, for the tax everything you're doing in that regard, though, is about, I think, assuring people that you've got the general interest in mind, right? Because right now, if you just pass these regs, you guys are covering yourselves, and that's it. Right, just the, you know.
Or when you
just
say
the raw-
ourselves, the county.
Yeah, and real costs.
Yes.
Meaning as opposed to there is no benefit in the sense that I think your folks are asking, about are we improving the county generally?
Is it like bringing a Walmart distribution or a Mars into the county that will at some point help reduce property taxes? Because we get hit with that all the time.
Yeah.
You're not bringing anything in, and then when something is proposed, well, we don't want that, And so it's finding that balance in what does that look like, and I think people just want to know in general. I think they want to know what's in it for the county.
And unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball.
We don't, but I think there are some studies out there, and I don't know if they're based on milliwatt, megawatt, whatever it might be, or is it based on acreage coverage? However that could be, I mean, we could reach out to Lynn County and
I think that's the question probably, the real, I don't feel bad about saying that if you're just talking about a tax or whatever, I don't think the justifications have to be terribly well thought out. I think what I'm concerned in this discussion more is, do we know what the value effect is for both the place where they're placed and neighboring properties? I don't know for sure one way or the other whether if you got a farm right next to a big solar facility that your property tax would go up. Maybe that means that the solar company may want you next to expand. I don't know, but they don't. Or it could be that nobody wants your farmland anymore because it's right next to the place. And what's the basis for increasing the value of the land for the solar facility itself? Just income?
Well, and that's kind of my question, because I thought that it would still be ag land.
I don't believe so. I believe that it will go, there will be an increase because of the structures that are on it. But that's something we need to look at. We're not reinventing the wheel. What are other counties doing with this?
Like I said, I thought that it would still be ag land.
Well, it can be in some situations because there's grazing in some situations, plus they raise bees, they still utilize that what we've read.
Yeah.
Iowa State did a
right, on the bees.
Yeah, honeybees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we need to research, does it elevate that piece of ground to a higher level? And me personally, no, it's not gonna raise anybody else's property value because they don't have the same. It's not any different than, does it increase the value of property if you put oil wells on?
Well, I think
Or coal
yeah,
mine.
it might be almost similar to like if you guys, it's not really comparable, but if you set up an industrial park, meaning you dedicated an area that's raw, it's empty, but you say, okay, here's where we're going to put industrial uses, commercial uses that are big. You get them out of the city, you get them into the county, and that then says, you designated, everybody's going to move there, you're not going to have industrial uses in a different place. And does that increase the value of that? You can say, yeah, because that one slot now is, they know they have the facilities, water, sewer, electrical, and it's set up for that use, and they know that value there will increase because it's not just a piece of farmland, it's an potential industrial site plugged in.
Hold that thought for just a minute. I believe we have some grade schoolers here having a good time today.
Don't have to go to work as early now, huh? Yeah, we heard. Okay.
I got to sleep with one.
There you go.
I wonder where these came from. Are we supposed to hand them out to the kids?
take
There's
for
not enough,
Halloween.
there's not enough there for all.
Nice of one was sold them on Friday, and I bought a bag and brought it here.
Sorry, Todd.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so, you know, the value proposition to me is unmistakable. But I think we got the outlines of it here is the fact that we probably, I could look back in the file, because I know I had some things that seemed to me to be secondary to getting the regs together, but we can now talk about that very thing.
Okay. I think that's a good idea, because I think there are a lot of people in the community that want to know those.
Well, I think the passage of it would beg that question. I mean, if people understood that this is a benefit to them broadly, you know,
Right.
do they turn around? You know,
Right. Okay.
There's the umbrella economic development. A lot of folks want to know if it fits into that.
yeah, there's a lot of tools in getting cities there and counties there. It's just that this really hasn't got a location that's set so much that you can kind of carve that out necessarily. So it's a territory issue. Those kind of things.
Okay. Good conversation.
I want to do a little more research on that because, like I say, I had understood that the land itself would still be ag land, and still be valued in ag land. So, I really need to look into that a little bit more.
Thought one of the landowners who was here a long time ago said there was a provision in his contract that covered increase in tax on
Yes.
land.
He did, but, like I said, I had thought that was still on ag value, not, because we're not rezoning anything.
No, we're not. That's a good point. It's a special use permit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm just, I'm a little puzzled on that.
Yeah, I've never had
do some more research
dig
on
into
that.
that too. If that, I mean, I'm just guessing about, I mean, the use probably is significant. But
Well, I know Kate's done all the research on this already, so. I'm
Yeah,
sure
let's
she can
work.
answer the
I mean,
questions
I'm just-
right
I'm
off
just
the bat.
playing
Well, hi,
games.
Dave. Glad to
We're relaxing.
Have a seat.
Well, you can't come down here and just
So,
go get crap.
so one of the questions that we've been talking about is, will this, if a facility of some sort is built on somebody's A1 ag ground, will it change the value of what that land is worth for taxation?
Land value, market, commercial.
Land value still A1 ag, because we're not rezoning the ground. Okay, and then I said that, I can't remember who it was, but I think in one of the meetings year and a half ago, one of the landowners said that whatever that increased, it would be paid for by whatever company that was already factored into their bids. So we were just trying to figure out, how do we put a value on that?
I'm trying to figure out maybe roughly if we're gonna have an increase in property tax value because of net tax revenue.
Yeah.
Because of building a large facility.
It depends on the land analysis for whatever year that it's actually set and done.
Okay.
So that area this year, it's a base acre of a 3-acre model at 12,000 an acre. Sorry, I'm trying to get this off the top of my head.
No, not holding you to any.
So that would be 36,000 that 3-acre, and then there's an incremental value and decremental value, depending on how large the area is.
But you have a way of calculating that. Perfect. That's all I needed to know, is we have a way of calculating that. And then the other piece of this is, what does it actually mean in payment in lieu of actual taxation for, like we would for natural gas or oil?
There might be a way to historically, because I know some counties, most of the counties have a appraiser information, find a location where it's been built, and you can see the change over time.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's built one, no question.
Douglas, is it Douglas building the thousand acres?
Building, I think it's built, but I don't know for sure.
Well,
If they
approved
stop
it.
because of litigation or not.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah, in a situation like that too, I reach out to other counties that have similar things going on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if you could, and maybe that's, you can do it easier than I could, because all I'm saying is that you go to the site in the last 5 years, you can look back and see how they changed.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
think that they have anything yet in Douglas County that I could
Research.
Yeah.
Because what brought all this up was that I've had a couple of people ask me that community members in general, they're not sure which way they feel about it, but they want to know how is a facility like this going to benefit the average taxpayer. I mean, there's 13,000 plus people in this county, and is it going to help lower property taxes? Are we going to be covered on costs on incidentals, things that Dan's talked about? But is there a greater value that's going to help reduce the mill levy tax burden on the general public, like a Mars or a Walmart distribution? And that's what a lot of people are asking that question. And then how will it affect the communities who are directly involved? If you have a community in Emmett that are involved in that, fire stations, school districts, how is it going to involve those cities in this conversation? So that's kind of what brought all this up.
It's pretty clear their internals would change, their income would alter because of these installations. And that could be a detriment if they have to do some extra stuff.
Right. So I think that's a piece that we want to work on while we're trying to work on the regs themselves. Because it may not be the right approach, but I think there are a lot of community members that are like, okay, yeah, I know you want to pass these regulations, but we don't know where we stand on it, because at the end of the day, it really boils down to some dollars and cents for the taxpayer. And I don't fault them for that. That's just what I've been asked.
Yeah, and part of it's gonna decide what, if we get this much for increased property taxes as opposed to this much, like,
Correct.
big difference between, because there's a question about what you do on top of that.
Right.
Because really at this place, on top of it, we need a bigger one.
That's correct. Is that clear?
See, I told you you have all the answers.
Yeah. We'll get through it.
That was
I made the call.
Thank you.
I'm just curious, I'm gonna ask this
Sure.
before I get into anything else.
Yeah.
Is he protected as far as coming in and going into executive session to have certain discussions?
Would he be under executive session?
He wouldn't be personnel, in my reading for
Is
that.
there attorney-client
But
privilege?
he can't be paid.
Huh?
Well, he's not paid, right, because they can't be compensated. They're not
Okay.
employees. Yeah. We can do it under attorney-client privilege.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that, but he's got to understand that there's a public element to this.
Okay, what would that be?
I mean, it's going to be general, but it's going to be that letter to everybody.
Yes, there will be a public, the
Yeah.
general letter to the rest of the board. Helping them understand their responsibilities as a board. And why what happened was wrong. Is that answer your question?
Kind of.
That's the best we can do.
There was some apprehension about coming in. He's not available today,
Okay.
and hopes that maybe next week, if one of you can shoot him an email
Well, but I think we just have him on the agenda while you're here. Yeah, I mean, is there a reason for apprehension? I mean, he came in.
And we kinda had a hash out already.
Yeah, he came in on his own accord.
Yeah. I mean, that's not an unreasonable accommodation.
Yeah. I think we're trying to work with him. Anything else?
Not this time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for
That's all I
coming back down.
Yeah, we'll get him time.
Any other philosophical discussions that we need to have?
I don't think so.
Have you got the minutes yet?
Huh?
Have you got the minutes yet? Never
So,
mind.
so if we're done with that topic, the chair recognizes, Don.
Well, I just had a question about the planning commission and does this go with it, your topic?
Yes, we're talking about a board member on the planning commission.
Well, it's just about whether you can bring speakers in. Is that?
To the planning commission?
Yeah, can anybody sign up a
Well, there's no,
speaker?
from my understanding, there's no public comment period that would just broadly allow people. I think if you had a specific hearing that was about a topic, right? So there's, and all these are gonna be zoning things that are brought before the planning commission. I think citizens have the right to address at a public hearing those issues. And I think if there was expert testimony that would assist the planning commission, that would be welcome. It would just be something to be in advance, not, not to spring on them at the last minute, but have.
Who decides if it's expert?
Well, I think that's up to the commission. They don't, it doesn't have to be, it's not a legal test. It's just, I think what the question is whether the planning commission believes that the person who's there, since they're not an actual resident of the county, would assist them in making a decision. And that the person has knowledge, maybe over and above the normal person to assist them in doing it. So, but I don't see a problem with that. Again, I think they should just make it run smoothly. I think the time is set for citizens.
Yeah.
So I want an emphasis on the fact that I don't want citizens blocked out based upon, a group of people.
And did the zoning and planning board approve this individual coming in to your last meeting, or was it not approved?
Senator
I mean,
Thompson.
Yeah, they all knew about it. They all decided that, they let him speak.
Okay.
I mean, I emailed them and said he is interested in speaking and said, hey, do you have a date and time that works best for you guys?
So it sounds like that's what you're asking, if you have someone that you would like to bring in that you believe would have pertinent information, that you would like to get them on the agenda.
Just interested, yeah. I never did hear, what was the meeting afterwards?
It was a variance for rear yard setback.
Appeals.
Okay.
Board of zoning appeals.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. I was just gonna ask, how long was the meeting the other evening?
It extended to like 8 something.
And appeals is typically at 8 o'clock, and so that's why it was adjourned.
And their meeting was 7 minutes.
Oh, the days.
So, I guess
Yes,
I have a
go ahead,
question too. Was Senator Thompson brought in by citizens, or was he brought in by the planning and zoning board?
No, he reached out to me through an email and asked to meet with him.
And then you brought it before the zoning and planning board. Okay.
He wanted the very next meeting, oh gosh, that was months ago, I'm sorry, so, he wanted to meet at the next one, we didn't have anything for that one, or And so we went for the next month, and there wasn't anything on that agenda, so that's why it got pushed off to the 10th.
Sounds to me like you just need to have, the two experts there at the same time so that they can hash it out.
Is Mr. Thompson?
Yeah. Huh?
Was the senator an expert? Is that what he's doing?
He's a meteorologist.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he is,
Yeah.
other than a state senator.
I used to work for the same company, and he did in Kansas City.
And that makes him an expert.
No, he's a meteorologist.
He's a meteorologist.
That's what he is.
Okay. Well, yeah, and Senator Beals like an expert. I know.
Okay. All right, thanks, Kate.
Thank you, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I don't have anything else, gentlemen. Do you have anything else
Todd?
we're gonna move into, yeah, for Todd?
I can't think of anything.
All right, well, it's gonna, need something good. Take me about an hour to pack up.
Okay. I think we're gonna go into bills, move into bills and, get those approved.
Exciting things. I'm gonna get a stretch.
Yeah.
Anyone want any water?
I'm good. You good? I'm good. We'll take a 5-minute recess at this point. That way that's official. Pulling everything.
Have anybody who's
Are you on?
So, 11 o'clock.
I'm gonna get some water.
So I missed the excitement.
I didn't see anything in here.
Yeah. It was fairly easy to,
Well, at a certain point, they got everything they need.
yeah, I think
I was
so.
hoping they would.
How y'all doing?
Our friends, you missed that, Terry, you didn't get that. I'm sure you could see it on the camera too. Yeah.
I rode here yesterday.
Okay. Are you
I
doing
was-
permanent?
I
You
was-
said road and bridge.
Sorry, I wasn't stupid. I did
Yeah.
a stupid thing. I didn't check the agenda to see that it was for today.
They're gonna make you do election stuff too?
Columbus Day.
Okay, yeah.
And I walked up and there was a guy.
Tara is
shaking
an
the
old
brush.
crow
I
at
was
this.
like,
She'll hit the ground.
You don't leave it, sorry about that. He really wasn't a
So
good
think
representative
about
of the firm.
Columbus Day or and all this like.
Did I tell you, here, I had dinner with him the other night. We were in Lawrence, and so I reached out to him and, Kara and him, and, went and had supper. Got caught up, he seemed to really enjoy the new job, and, boys are doing well playing
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
Although his son, Will is in college and.
Yeah, Drake?
Yeah, what's the youngest son?
Uh,
Wyatt. Wyatt broke his ankle.
oh goodness. Yeah, I was
It
concerned.
seems like every year he breaks something.
Yeah,
The neck deal with
Yeah,
that.
that was my thought, was that, when he said he was doing football, that seems to me, because he broke his neck
Yeah.
in a pool accident. And it was one of those things where they kind of said, if you had not gotten care for it, you would have.
Got paralyzed. Yeah. Are you familiar with the Lake Abadawa?
Dabanawa.
Dabanawa.
Did he call me Dabanawa Todd?
He did. He said I was supposed to bring that up.
But it's great, it's such a great story. Yeah, he was representing this lake association, and he had me sub in, and it was just a complete circus.
Thank you.
Came in there and they were all gummed up, and they were all, and the board took me aside and chewed my ass, and I'm going, man, what in the heck? And then partway through the guy chewing on me, and he said, well, I'm a little sick of this. So basically, my attitude at that point was, I'm done. So I went out there, and I just was the biggest jerk you've ever seen. Everybody come out there and say, well, I want to do this. I said, you don't know what you're talking about. Don't. I'm just shooting people down. And then it's like 9 o'clock. you know, and they're only halfway through, I said, well, that sounds like a good time for me, I'm going. So I left.
It was a homeowners association?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was joking with Lee, because I was feeling like I was mad at him, but I said, that was the best therapy session I've ever had. I can just launch.
Let it go.
Yep.
All right, well, have a good week.
You too, we'll see you guys later.
Okay.
He's probably coming to the end. I think that's it. What's that? Parkland Land Movement Group, I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't believe he's, kind of a, I don't believe he does it for corporate. How you been? I'm doing great.
Sign.
What's that? Oh, we got signed. You got this one over here?
I did.
Yes. Unknown power.
Oh, I know where that's from. Thank you.
We're back in session, so we'll go ahead and, I'm gonna look over the bills. You've already looked over
Yes.
these and didn't find any problem?
Nope.
Man, you're efficient. Hey Tara, I have a quick question for you. You're familiar with the, cameras that, or not the cameras, just the, GPS system they're putting on the graders and the trucks? Sort of, but the ability for the operators to put in time through that system?
I don't know what we found out about that.
Okay. I didn't know if you'd had any conversation about that, what your thoughts were on it, since you were kind of doing that job.
I think that they asked I don't remember the company that is providing them. I know that they have that ability. I just don't know if it flows into the current program.
Which is the star.
I don't know how that works.
Because you spend
It's a lot of time.
a lot of time
And
inputting
it's not
that.
just time, it's everything that has to be entered into the STAR program.
Okay.
I mean, the time cards take a lot of time to put in, but there's other data that has to be manually entered as well. Like basically everything is being tracked pen and paper, and then you have to go and enter it in.
Yeah, which seems silly.
It takes several keystrokes, plus for these cards and things like that, I have to find which category it goes in. I can't just type what the card is and it finds it for me.
Right.
You have to find the exact category it's in. Some of the things are categorized in a way that I would have never thought it would be. You spend a lot of time.
Logic to one, logic to one person isn't logic to
Yeah.
another.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just really time consuming.
What you did is, usually Aaron helps me on my Zooming rooms for the Heartland Works.
Not the times and everything.
Yes, Thank you. I'm just dangerous enough to turn one on.
Yeah. I never knew if Scott or anybody had reached out to Jeannie at STAR to find, I'm guessing that isn't just gonna flow into this program.
Right, I know there was conversation with
There's
the
gonna have to be some
company
kind of
providing.
interface. There's gonna have to be some kind of interface, some kind of patch to
Yeah.
go between one and the other.
Because I believe Scott said there are already other counties doing it. It's not like we're having to create something
With STAR, or they're using a completely different software?
with Star.
Okay.
So there were other companies using the GPS and the app that have Star.
Or the John Deere separate of everything, don't they have their own?
Yeah, that's completely different.
Completely different.
Because, yeah. Okay.
When you're talking about entering other things in, you're talking about, they put an inch of gravel on 2 miles of this road and
Yeah,
right?
yeah, tracking it.
And there's just, and even within that, there is a lot of, not a lot, but discrepancy. Because you can only pick the segments that are set up in the system, and sometimes you're subject to
Okay. Yeah.
so then you have to figure out what they're really going.
Yeah, understand.
And then they're
Do you
keeping,
have Hartwell's number? I
they're
don't
keeping
know.
mileage like
Who?
from the beginning of the
Rob
day to the
Hartwell's
end
number.
of the day.
Rob?
It's not
Rob.
over 11.
I
So
do.
we're just kind of dividing.
I don't have it.
Yeah.
Evenly amongst how many loads, but really it may have been several more miles for this load than it may be 20 miles for this load. I don't have time to
Yeah.
look that up exactly.
Because it takes you, what, 3 or 4 hours a day to do all the time cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably how long it takes Clinton to do it. He's really efficient. That would probably take me longer than that than it would be taking Bill.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There's gotta be a more efficient way to do that.
I think it would be easier if they had some sort of system to do it electronically, but they are not.
Well, guess what? That's the key right there.
I'm trying to help you, right?
Thanks.
Make it so much easier.
Oh. Yeah.
You know. Basically.
But there's some of them who just drag their heels and say, no, I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
That's not a good thing to say.
Right.
We're not doing it.
And with federal stuff too, like we got the,
come up with something.
Are the schools in session this week?
They weren't yesterday.
Almost good. Were they last week off? No?
Nope.
My grandkids are off 6 days.
From school?
Yeah. What's there in Texas?
Oh, did they go year round?
No, close. But they get like fall break, spring break, 2
So they're
Easters.
considered full-time, and a lot of schools will just take periodically, they'll do one week or 2 weeks and then go back.
Yeah.
They never
Well,
take the full 3 months off.
No, they don't, you're right. Son's kids in Olathe, they're off, I think, a week for fall break too. Where's the brown bag lunch being held this week? You know, Mark?
I'd have to look at the email.
I can't find it on here.
The email?
Yeah, wait a minute. Is it gonna be held across the street?
Thursday, October 17th, Memorial Hall.
Okay. Oh, it's not the, yes, this week. Okay, Memorial Hall.
Who's putting this on?
The chamber, this is a lady,
Department of Commerce.
Department of Commerce, who got in touch with, this is a brand new thing that they're starting, and Jennifer, Jeanette got a hold of them.
Or rural Kansas
over
development, yeah.
Chamber.
Yeah.
And said they reached out, and she got a hold of them, said use us for a test walk. Because so
Short notice, I already have plans. Actually.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a hold of all my cities and tell them what's going on, so if they can come and learn, because this is about grant opportunities for smaller entities, and there's several of my cities that are looking for infrastructure grants, so this will be a way to get them in touch with that. And Kate comes to luncheon, she's going to be over across the street then that afternoon and evening, I believe, to talk to anybody that needs to talk to them.
Yeah. You want me to talk to Teresa?
Teresa.
Riley at City Hall.
About.
this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll be there.
I'd invite her to come.
Okay, did you hear this morning on the news, Fulton got $2 million in grant money
No, it didn't.
to put in the extension of, sidewalk,
Oh, great.
yeah, through, gas. So,
Extension of sidewalk to where?
well, I don't know if it's from,
Is that the one that's gonna go out?
yeah,
Banner?
I think on the highway going west, coming out of, Countryside Park, which is the dog park commonly referred to
The
as the dog
soccer.
park.
Carries
Soccer,
on.
yeah. So I think the city of Fulton got $2 million.
No, great.
Did Christie have anything else in there that we need to take action on?
Didn't look like there was anything
Okay.
else.
Yep, City of Fulton received more than $2 million for the Highway 75 pedestrian, non-motorized vehicle bicycle safety project. It doesn't say exactly where, but I think it comes out of, the park going west, then up, going north and going back west like a Z. But, yeah, they did good. Brett Wagner assisted them, I believe.
So it'll be on which side of the highway?
Depends which,
Which you,
75 highway, probably.
they're gonna
on
have to fill in
east.
some ditches no matter what they do.
Huh?
If they're going down 75, they're gonna have to fill in some ditches no matter what they do,
Yeah,
which
Well,
is
KDOT.
happening anyway.
yeah, they'll probably go north, say, from the park, Banner
Well,
Road.
yeah, but east side or west side.
Yeah, then they cross over and go west, the intersection there, I think, which definitely what we need. So, and we had talked about merging with them going to the lake. So, anyway. That's good.
Seems like it would be easier to put it on the north side of the. On the north
It
side.
probably would
There's
be.
more crop, like more grass. They just turn on some driveways and.
Oh,
lots.
Banner Road, you mean
Yeah.
Banner Road?
They
Yeah.
go up that to the highway.
Probably,
There's
but
no
I think,
sidewalk on
well,
the east side.
It's pretty tight in there no matter which way you go.
yeah, but outside those new houses, I would think it'd go on the south side. There's a lot more land.
Well, I would think that they would keep it on Banner Road.
Right.
But they might take a, 6-foot chunk, 3 feet on each side, and use it for a bicycle path, walking path.
Yeah, but what side do you think they're gonna be on? North or
3
south?
feet on each side, and then move the center of the road, you know what I mean? So you got a 6-foot walking path?
Yeah, but you gotta put it on the north side or the south side. And I'm saying which side you put it on.
That's gonna be the question. What I'm saying is,
Okay,
you got the road here going like this, you take 3 feet off this side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
3 feet off this side.
Yeah.
And then whichever side you decide to put it on, move the road this way, and there's your 6-foot walking path, and there's your road set up. Walking bike.
I think they're more, yeah, cause you're gonna be eating into, on the north side, or something like, on the north side, cause you'll be eating into people's property. And on the south side, there's a lot more right away, you're gonna see.
Just on the, after you get past some houses.
Yeah, what's it called?
Coming up, but never got enough suit.
The barn?
To me, I wonder if
Yeah.
they do that.
Like
So
the
it's
north
like,
side, you know, more people in this community as in the, I live here.
Well, to me, it would make more sense in the north side, because it's more than be on the east side of the highway. Why would you?
Yeah,
put it on
I
the
would
east
guess
side?
it
Get on the east side of the highway.
You're right. See, that's all
can be. Yep. I know. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Well, thank you, Ken. Yep, it'll be good. Oh, will you be down in Linden for the, what day does he put on the Northeast Kansas one? Or is that different? You don't put that on? Okay. You participate? The, okay, sounds good.
So,
Thank you.
I did, good meeting you.
You too, bye-bye.
Bye.
Did you print this, Keith?
I did. Actually, if you wanna, I just need reimbursed for it.
Okay.
So it's for the conference, that's why I printed it off, cause I paid for it.
Pay for hours too?
No,
No.
just my own.
I can't believe how fast that hotel filled up.
I know. I think there was something goofy on that.
At Wichita?
Yeah.
Well, we
There's
were
some
all
sort of
different.
construction going on, is what they said when I called.
Really?
So they partnered with the one across the street to handle.
And I think that's where the majority of people ended up.
Yeah.
Well, we all stayed 3 different ones last time, didn't we?
No, you and I stayed in the same one.
Yeah, we did, you're right. That's the old Vermont Inn, which was owned by the Cohens out of Topeka.
I mean, it was nice.
Yeah, they fixed it up.
Yeah, I just
The
like being in the
Broadmoor,
same.
it's called the Broadmoor, Broadview.
Yeah.
They had a Broadmoor and a Broadview or something like that. I used to walk that when I, in the 80s. There's a river walk, which I walk going to it from the convention center.
Yep.
But at night, I'd walk it, because I'd go down and spend time calling on advertising agencies. And I got to thinking one eerie time, I was way up north. Or actually, I ran down those days. And I thought, they had not caught the BTK guy yet. I thought, oh my gosh. That's an eerie thought. And he wasn't that far away, but.
that?
Okay, I'll just send you something so you can forward it on these two. So whenever you have it, that's fine. What should I be sending, Christie? Okay, Christie left, okay. Thank you. You in the middle zone? No.
Let me click.
Yes, yeah. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm sending you.
Okay, go ahead.
Once again from Jeanette. She has over at Chamber.
Oh, okay.
She is friends with somebody from down in Tulsa. Where's she come from? I believe it's Tulsa.
Okay.
And he is actually trying to get with smaller communities also to help with grant writing and get the backbone for what we've talked about before, the data that's needed
For economic development.
for economic development, stuff like that. He's also gonna be here on the 18th. He's gonna be in town the 15th through the 19th, I think it was.
Of this month?
Yep. So he's gonna be here for the 18th meeting, and, so.
18 or 17.
What's that?
17.
Yeah, 17, yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah. So.
I wish I could be there. I wish we had a little more.
Advance notice, yeah. Yeah, she just told me about this, last Thursday, I think I got a call from her, talking about both things, so. So I think it's gonna be a good thing to look into. Trying to get, current email addresses for all my mayors, so I get them this information sent to them.
Okay. I'll be back.
city is right in there.
2721.
2721.
Got it, thanks.
You can just listen, Rob Hartwell sent me a text, this morning, he's meeting with, mayor's office next week. He needs a map of the original 30 by 30.
I found it.
You did?
I think I have a copy right here.
That's the original 30 by 30?
Well, no.
I found it online.
Is it on this board back here?
I thought we had one in here.
I think it's an old one right there.
This one?
Yeah. It's on it, isn't it?
No.
No? I don't, that's just the county.
Believe so, I think this is just, this shows the reservation, but yeah, this is the original size of it. I mean, this is the 11 by 11.
Yeah.
Because it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I wonder, would like to have a copy of that.
That's just Jackson.
just sent you a test email with the link to that map in it.
Okay.
Commissioners,
Just open it up, make sure that it is the correct, that it did. Yep, bingo.
Cool.
All right, I'll send it on to Rob, or you want to just forward that on to him?
No, go ahead and,
Okay, I'm sorry.
if you wanna email that to him, I'll text him and let him know that you're doing that.
Will do.
Now I left him a message too,
About,
the call I got this morning about another senator to talk to, or consider, he knows more what's going on.
so it's just this line in the middle, correct? It's not,
It's
this
just
is,
the outside line, that's the 30 by 30.
it is.
The 11 by 11
Is that right there?
Yep.
Okay, so you might point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it goes straight down there, right through Shawnee County.
Yeah.
Is there a way you can zoom in on that?
No, that's as big as I can get it.
Is that the 30 by 30?
Speaking. Follow up St. Mary's almost all the way to Wamego.
Oh,
It's just outside of Alma.
Hmm?
It's just outside of Alma.
Yeah.
I'll get our, that Wanamaker, right on the edge, I was told.
No, it's
31st Wanamaker?
Well, 31st of
Yes.
Wanamaker, but all of Wanamaker from there north would be,
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. Now they've got an answering service.
Who?
City Hall.
Oh, really?
Well, they don't say anything about city manager. Hello? Let's see. Thursday, 12, Memorial Hall luncheon. Economic development.
So, on October 28th, Austin Taylor from Giant Communication. Like, touch base meeting schedule October 28th, when did they meet?
who wants to come that Monday
Yeah.
morning?
Yeah, have him, you can put him on the schedule, he wants to, talk about
Michelle.
Giant is apply,
Just
the
Michelle.
projects that Giant's
Amber.
applying for.
You all sound alike. Hey, Amber.
I would say-
I'm over here at the courthouse. I'm sorry. And, that's okay. There is an economic development meeting at the courthouse, Brown Bag luncheon.
10:30?
At Memorial Hall. And it features, Kansas Department of Commerce as the speaker, and assisting rural communities of regs. And we thought we'd reach out to all mayors and at least the city manager at Holton, Situate.
I looked at my email wrong, the other gentleman's gonna be here.
We'd like to see Teresa.
I looked at my email wrong, the other gentleman
Or
was
send
here.
a representative.
Oh,
So
glad to be able to go.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is this Thursday, late notice, I know, at the courthouse at noon is a brown bag lunch. And it'll discuss future economic you know, in your new recording there, there's no number to call and talk to the city manager on there. I wondered that, yeah, but I understand. Thank you very much. Okay, Bob. Nope, city manager doesn't have that.
Nobody would ever want to talk to city managers, so why?
Sure they do.
Oh, talk to the mayor who's never there, right?
Well, it's, oh, I think he's there a lot, really.
Yeah.
Oh, I see his truck over there a lot. They go in and see what's going on.
He just over.
Yeah. Is someone running against him? I see.
I don't know, I've seen some signs out there.
I didn't.
I have no idea.
Never registered. Whoa.
Not be clued.
Interesting. What's the weather calling for? I didn't even watch it last night.
Took the rain out of the forecast, unfortunately.
It's still supposed to be cool, cold.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, freeze warning tonight.
I thought it was, okay. Nothing so far? Well, I thought it was last night. I looked at all my hoses. Freeze or frost?
Freeze.
Well, we got all of our crops out.
recess for lunch.
Okay.
Are you cold?
Good morning.
You're there by your house.
Okay. All right, I'll take a look at it.
Oh, I don't know, but I feel like, you know, everything you do there, I don't know. You signed it for me,
What's it?
your name, you signed it.
Interlocal
Yes.
agreements, he's still working on that. Interlocal agreements with various connecting counties.
Yes.
I've got a note here on that.
Okay, I have 9 o'clock, so we're gonna open the meeting with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Yeah, let's print up a couple more.
Okay.
Can you make sure that's the one you signed though, Keith? Because I added your little issue.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay.
Changes should be the paragraph D.
Whenever you guys are ready, I'd entertain a motion to approve resolution number 24-27.
Yes.
I so move. Oh, sorry.
I just want to make sure it's. Yeah, okay. I just thought maybe I had the old one that came out.
Nope, is this, I so move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution number 24-27. This is a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners, Jackson County, Kansas, adopting rules of conduct for the Board of County Commissioners meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And we will sign this copy.
Okay. Is it patterned after others in the state, or is this something that we just created?
No, so just created.
Good enough.
slight borrowing from the Kansas rules of procedure for Kansas cities.
All right. Ready for your signature, Chief. Scott, how are you?
All right.
I'm gonna take a minute and just read these two real quick, just so I have a knowledge of them. This is over on 126th, or yeah, 126th, or is it on?
One on 134 and T.
Oh, and T.
There's a little map on the one on 134 and T to show you exactly where it's at, but you can see the, the sign is just.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
So they're gonna open cut all the way across the road. Okay.
They're gonna have to, repair the one.
Right. Oh, is there? Okay. All right. I'm ready, Scott. Now that I have a realization of where that's gonna go.
All right.
Thanks.
I'm gonna talk to you about wanting somebody else to the superintendent title, so we're gonna do that this time.
Okay.
All right, Lee?
Are you sure?
Okay. I think this person.
All right. Take a look at fuel bids.
Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
I have one from Hague Oil for $2.69 a gallon. Diesel number 2, low sulfur, 7,500 gallons. Right?
I've got a bid from Naughty Coin for $2.71 a gallon for a total of $20,325.
$150 more than Hague. Pretty close, though.
I'll get first then.
That's good. You wanna make a motion?
Yeah, make a motion that we accept Hague Oil for $20,175 low bid.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, we approve the low bid for diesel fuel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That, okay.
Well, I think so. One's a new one.
Those are copies for you guys.
Signed copies?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
And I made extra.
You get one?
Yep.
JC meeting, I won't be going to this year,
Okay.
wife's got some doctors.
Sure. Are you planning on going?
Well, we talked about it, minor expenses, the snow.
Yeah. Okay. It's up to you. You do what you feel is right.
Okay.
Yeah. You think staying here is better?
I do.
Perfect. I like that.
Okay.
We'll get, but we do want to work on finding some training that will help you with management, so.
We do have a class where folks sign up for,
Cool.
October
29th.
29th, yes.
After Tuesday, so.
Very cool. All right. I think that's great. That's close, so.
Yes.
All right. Very good.
Humans.
Oh, yeah.
So I can introduce Jennifer.
Jennifer, come on up. How are you?
She's,
Good, how are you?
Wonderful. Glad you're with us.
Thank you. I know these two young
Sure.
gentlemen.
Oh, you're so kind.
Is dinner ready for me to get home?
Does that make you the old guy?
Got more gray than I do.
So you've kind of settled in out there now?
Working on it, getting there.
We had computer issues last week and switched over.
Yeah.
So there was very little training with Tara and her because they were messing with computers all week. Where I talked to Christy about maybe having Tara come out an hour early each, for a couple weeks to
Yep.
help
hours programs and maintain it, she wasn't able to get any training.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Well, we're glad you're with Road and Bridge in the county.
Thank you, I'm excited to be back working for the county.
Cool.
Oh, you've been here before, County?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Oh, I probably knew that, it's been a while.
Yeah, 'cause I worked for the sheriff's department
Okay.
for 11 years, and then, I worked for KDM on the Homeland Security side for almost 7 years.
Oh, wow. Good. So you can handle the fellers out there,
Yes,
okay?
yep,
You can handle that group.
yeah,
Good.
they're not too bad yet, fun group.
It is.
We had the bids for the electrical out here,
Uh-huh.
from Riley Electric, I sent out some more, like you requested, nobody responded.
Okay.
So, either
You wanna move ahead, or do you wanna?
I think we fulfilled our obligation by sending out requests for bids from more people, and if we didn't get any back, I'd say let's go ahead and get it done and start, so.
So, we'll need to accept that bid.
Yeah, there's 3 different ones. You've got out here at the shop for the big tank, you've got the shop for the small tank, and then the 2 tanks down there at they're all 3 separate ones.
And we,
That way, yes. Fuel tanks, yes.
Yeah, you can entertain a motion to approve these, all collectively.
Okay.
Whenever you are ready.
so I'll make a motion that we approve the 3 bids from Riley Electric for the wiring for the new fuel tanks, out at the Hoyt site, and the other 2 jobs out at the highway site.
Second. Moving to second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right.
Chris Adelman, came in last week, he was going for,
Okay.
Husker Steel.
Yeah.
And, he talked to us about up in Johnson County, they had that emergency, that, wing wall, was having an issue, if they could back us up a little bit. They backed us up a little bit more, so we're looking probably the second week of November on 254 bridge. So that took us out of harvest a little.
Just
further.
up to date.
254 bridge or 246?
246 won't be till next year.
Okay.
We just got, where they're letting it, just got a big look this morning on it, through the letting.
And we're talking about the one that's been held up because of the historical side of it?
Yes.
So it's a go?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that we got the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had found a bridge to substitute it.
I didn't know they had accepted it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right,
Very cool.
okay,
Yeah, so we're on with that.
good. How long will the road be down?
It's gonna depend on weather, if they're starting in November.
Yeah,
But
I
they
just
have-
think it'll be notified to schools and,
Not yet, because we're
Okay.
trying to get a firm date
okay,
first.
And they'll probably wanna put together a detour.
yeah.
Yes.
And that's what I was wanting to get lined out because, with both Jackson Heights, I think Jackson Heights is being used on that. But I notified both of them, just let them know, okay. Perfect.
Okay, very good.
That's all I have.
Alright, we're hoping that this is our last week on K-94 and 110. We did do a little bit of rock patching on H-254 south. Did 4 services last week. He's also working on brakes, wheel bearings on the trailers, on the semi-trucks, and did an upper control arm replacement on one of the Ford pickups. We did 2 tube replacements, 5 tube washings, and then we did some ditching and some cleaning and replacing of the tube up on R 318. I don't know if any of you
Is
have
that the one that
upstairs.
is that the one that I mentioned last week, you said the tube was bad?
It had a hole in it. Well,
Yeah.
what that had happened was the tubes had, there's an old a real thick, old pipe and had a band on it, and it separated, and when that separated, that created that hole in the road. So we pushed them back together, cleaned out that pipe, and took dirt and built that back up, and cleaned the ditch, so everything was running. So we should have that taken care of.
Alright.
Thank you.
I never did talk to Dave Askren, I tried to catch him a couple times,
Yeah.
so
I'll give him a holler sometime.
okay,
Yep.
I don't have a number for him.
Okay.
So, if either, if you wanna get me a number, or you talk to him, either one, don't matter. Just to let you know, Dan, October the 22nd is our next, monthly meeting. You can make it.
Thank you.
We're gonna, like I said, finish up K, 94 to 110th this week. My next thought is I wanna go to 296, the first 2 miles on it, heading west off of New Highway 75 is bad, and so that's where we'll be going next week. 2 services this week, 1 tube replacement, 3 tube cleanings. Waiting on everybody, to get me their list on the ditchings. And then I was gonna ask about the IT company, but I take it that we're supposed to go through the new one
Yeah.
and not through
That one, no.
Nichols Plus anymore.
Correct.
Okay,
IT pathways.
okay.
And there's supposed to be a contact person there, or call IT Pathways direct if you have a problem.
Right. And Christie will be able to
Yeah.
provide that.
Tim, Bellings told me that he emailed me a contact list. I have nothing from him.
I got it. It went to, well, it actually went to Tara's email.
Okay.
And then she sent it to, our company email. So I do have a copy of that. I can get that out.
Okay. Alright. Just so I know who I'm supposed to call from now on.
Okay.
Okay. That's it for me.
Thank you.
Alright, what do you got?
I did get another call on 310 R2S from a different gentleman. They're gonna be pulling out crops, and they really need some work on that.
Okay. Okay.
I just got it yesterday, so.
I'll go up there and take a look at it.
Okay. He said so the ditches really need cleaned on that too, because it's cut, running down and cutting down across the bottom. So, I don't know if that's a big mud hole up there we talked about before, I'm not sure. Like I said, I just got it yesterday afternoon before I left for Pekin, so I haven't had a chance to get up there and look at it either.
Alright.
Anything, Dick?
Yeah, I'm good this week.
Hang on a second, I'll sign.
Well, he's finding that, or when are we gonna,
Look at it.
quit
Yeah,
waiting
the-
tubes or for the winter? Is that, you gonna wait just a little while longer, or?
Yeah.
If
Okay.
we can, we sure want to try to keep washing tubes.
Yes.
Of course, by all means, this evening, we're gonna make sure we get the tube washer into the building, so that
Yeah.
there's no possibility of freezing.
Right.
But as long as we can keep washing tubes, I think the next 2 weeks after this isn't supposed to be bad. And if we need to put it in for the evening,
Yeah.
so be it.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets down to 32 at night, or even down to the 20s, if you got in the building, when
Yes.
you go out the next day and start washing, that's perfectly good.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
okay, perfect. All right,
So,
thank you.
So from 94th to 110, how'd that turn out? You feel like it looks good?
I think it's looking good now. I was off Friday, haven't been down there before the weekend. I wanna go, but that's one of the things places I wanna go today, by all means, and see how they're getting along. Have you looked at it yet, Keith?
I haven't been out there now, but I plan on.
Okay.
I'm anxious to see how it turned out. And so now is Richard able to get back on some of his roads, or is
Once
he
we
moving?
get him back on some of his roads, my next spot, I promise you is, and I know she won't, but I am, 04. I desperately need for our kids, and that's what I, get my hair back.
have we finished our test, have they pulled it out yet, or what's going
No,
on?
they're just coming in right now. They extended it, they're still working with the forms and things like that.
Okay, so forms, how's that coming with forms?
Not bad. We ran into a couple things where they need to add some more, is this fine?
Yes.
Add some more things for us.
Okay.
So they're working on that. They're supposed to have a call today at noon, with me again, what a call.
Okay.
But we've had a couple hiccups where, one deal come up where it says Kevin had crashed, but actually when they dumped the rock into the truck, the impact of it, they took it as a crash, so we got that all figured out.
I'm sure you appreciated that.
Yeah. Hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
What was the first thing I said to him, are you okay, Kevin? And he told me, and I'm like, okay.
So like I said, there's some bugs got to work out.
So the documentation, like Mark asked, as far as, have we been testing that, being able to input?
Linda and I have.
And that works good?
We still have some bugs, like, they had it where you can only put like one location in for an 8-hour period. Instead of putting in, I went to this road, this road, this road, I was 2 hours here, 1 hour here. I put 1 inch of core rock here, 3 inch here. That was not set up, and that's what they're working on, and gonna call us today, go through that.
Okay.
Like I said, we have been in it, we didn't really want to get to the drivers yet until we get these things worked out first.
Sure. Yeah, I understand that. Have we gotten any idea on costs yet, what it's gonna be?
No, that's why I just said we need to figure out what we're gonna put them in, and I'm gonna get that to them.
I guess I'd like to see it broke into 2 different, bids. Same bid, but 2 different, pieces. Graders, and then just the trucks. The trucks being
Semis and dump trucks.
semis and dump trucks.
They do want to mess with putting it into the little stubby trucks that we run this all on.
I don't
Things
think
that run every day.
Things that run
Every day, yeah.
And then we can break it out from there. We'll know, that'll give you an idea, per truck, what it's gonna cost per
Now,
grader.
do we wanna put it on the pickup trucks too, when they're out
I
doing
don't think
signs
so.
and stuff like that?
I don't see a necessity of that.
Okay.
A lot of that, the pickups will be set, because a lot of times they still run the pickup down to a site, and it sits there all day.
Right.
So you'll be paying for the truck sitting.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it appears that, Scott is retiring or stepping down from under sheriff, so he was going to part-time, so.
I haven't seen him on it lately. I wondered about that.
Yeah. You won't be able to set that there, sir. You'll need to be in the back of the room with it.
Sir, again.
Thank you.
Again.
Back of the room.
Again.
We're only gonna give you one warning.
I'm already having.
Just had your one
problems
warning.
back here.
You'll need to stand at the back of the room with it.
I'm already
You're
having.
not gonna put it up here.
I'm already having hearing problems back here, sir. I couldn't hear half of what he was saying.
Back of the room. That's what our rules state. Move it to the back of the room.
And, yes, as I mentioned to him last week, we are having a hard time hearing in the back of the room.
Okay, now you're interfering with our business meeting by not complying with what we've kindly asked you to do.
Kindly.
Can't hear back here.
Thank you.
You know, again, I have a hard time hearing.
So as I was saying, Scott has stepped down or removed himself from under sheriff, so he's gonna work part-time, so.
Do we have a replacement?
We do. It appears that it's going to be John Calhoun.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
And former sheriff
Action, yeah.
Atchison, yes. And I believe he was the city manager and
Mr. Chair, that you can stand, this is the public area over here. Please ask you to move back over there.
I'm just standing here, I'm not recording. I'm just
I
standing here.
didn't say anything about recording.
I'm standing here like these guys are.
They're asked to stand there.
I don't see anything wrong with saying otherwise, so.
I'm gonna ask you to move back over into the public area
How is this not the public area?
by warning.
How is this not the public area? How is this different than that?
Back over here.
I can stand right here if I want to. I'm not recording. I'm just standing here like these guys. Yeah, I understand. I'm fine. There's no reason. No, I'm fine. There's no reason. I can stand here. These guys are standing. I'm not blocking. I'm not recording. I'm not doing anything that's violating any rule. I'm just standing here. I'm just standing here.
Okay?
Okay. You can all agree. I'm just standing.
Push the envelope, that's all you wanna do, lady.
Okay. We're not gonna play games. You're disrupting our public meeting here. We're trying to conduct business. I'm gonna ask you to step back over there, both of you now. Otherwise, we're gonna have you, give you the option to leave of your own accord.
What rule are we breaking? I don't understand what the
By
issue is.
warning.
What rule are we breaking?
Not complying. I'd like for this gentleman to be removed.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Under what rule? Am I gonna be arrested if I don't leave?
Kansas statute, unlawful trespass.
I'll be trespassed for standing here?
Now you get the option to leave of your own accord.
Am I under threat of arrest?
If you don't move back over here, you have the option to leave. Otherwise, you'll be asked to leave.
Am I under threat of arrest?
I don't mind being asked to leave, I would be fine, unless I'm under threat of arrest.
We don't, this body doesn't determine who gets arrested.
Yeah.
Unless I'm under threat of
Detail.
some criminal charge, I would prefer to stay
I
here.
don't know if you are or you are not. That's not our call to make. This is not a body that decides criminal violation.
Unless I'm under some sort of.
At this point in time, you're disrupting our public meeting.
Are you telling me that I will be if I don't leave?
I'm telling you that let's go over and talk outside. Okay.
I'm asking you, will I be trespassed from the building?
There's
if I
a
don't?
high likelihood. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I'm asking for you to be straight about whether I'm gonna be under criminal charge if I don't comply. I need that clear.
You need that clear.
Because you're disrupting our public meeting.
Right now you're disrupting, so
correction to, wording. I gotta find it, page 2, where the paragraph starts, County Counselor Todd Luckman. I believe about halfway down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is it identity or identify the bodies, the name of the person being buried?
Must fully identify.
Must fully identify.
Yeah.
Okay, it says identity, just
So that it's.
spelling correction.
It's a public record of who's going in the grave.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Todd, what you got for us this morning?
Well, we probably should have an executive session for something we received.
Okay.
Just, it's not.
Attorney-client?
Yeah, attorney-client for probably 10 minutes, I would guess.
Okay.
So, if we get under.
Yep.
So I move we go into executive session for the